There it is. We're live.
There you go. There you go.
Hello. Oh, I do see you. I see your chat, but
I'm
it
here.
still says there's nobody here.
What like on the Twitch thingamabob? It says I don't know. There's always seems to be a bit of a delay, although maybe it's just me and you. Nobody's expecting this. We're surprised recording on a Saturday.
That's true. That's true.
I appreciate the flexibility, my friend.
Absolutely.
I wanted to tell you I did something that I had to channel my inner best Donnie while doing it. My dad called me up, and which he almost never does. So I'm like, well, we were out of grandparents, so I don't think anybody would have died. Although maybe mom's not doing okay. So I pick up thinking like maybe something terrible happened, and he just he's saying what's up, and what are we up to? And I'm like, oh, nothing, which is a mistake to admit that there's nothing going on. There's no plans. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. You want to go to a soccer game? There's like a professional soccer team here, like like a double A kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's terrible. Like I've been before. I do not enjoy it. And he goes, I got tickets. You want to go to the soccer game? And luckily the kids kind of like interrupted for a second. They say, you're talking to Grandpa? So they chatted with him for a little bit. And as they're talking, I'm thinking like, what would Donnie do?
I got to get out of this.
I do not want to go to this thing. And because I think one of the last times we did the show, it was right at the very end. It was like, am I going to go to this thing that I don't really want to go to? And the whole chat about like, I don't want to go. Don't go. Just don't go. Like, why do you feel like you have to go to these things?
My
and
wife is singing like right now at the theater in town. I'm not going.
Don't go. Don't go. It's liberating, dude. It felt, I just said like, the world didn't end. I said, I don't really want to go. That doesn't sound like something I want to do. So, but thank you for asking, and we'll go about our day here, and everything's. I mean, I think everything's fine. I feel fine.
The
I feel
byproduct
great.
is that some people might think you're an asshole. Probably not your parents, but some people will.
They might go like, well, now we'll just
But
not
if you
ask
can live
you to
with
do
that,
anything.
if you can live with that,
I'm starting to get a little bit more used to it.
like my audacity is like through the roof. I need to turn
Actually,
my
so is mine.
microphone down. I turn
Mine's a
it
little
down
loud.
for producer Ryan. The most famous example of that I had was my cousin's child was having a birthday, and I sent my kids with my wife, and I didn't go because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And they called me, and they were like, "Hey,
Oh, really?
we see your kids are here. Are you sick?" I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
They're like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you here?" I didn't want to. It sounds awful.
I love it, dude. Like it's something else. Like it's just honest. It's just honest. You
My
gotta at
uncle
least
was
appreciate.
like, "I can't believe you." I was like, "Look, I can't believe you're there." I was like, "You should be here, actually. Why don't you leave?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I got beer.
Yeah, and what was this? This must have been on a Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday. Like, the weekend is fleeting. Before we know it, we're gonna have to go back to work. And nobody wants that. You're gonna spend this whole time over here doing that?
Yeah.
No good.
Yep.
Don's in the chat says so straightforward for both of you, and I love it.
I mean,
Maybe-
I don't do it on purpose to be an asshole, but yeah, just a few years ago, I just reached a point. I was like, I'm tired of doing all of this for other people. Like, it doesn't make me happy. It makes me stressed out. Like you walk in on a Monday after doing something all weekend long for people, and you just hate yourself for it. And I was like, I'm just not going to do that anymore. Just
Yeah.
Office Space.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to go.
I think I'm gonna go.
I just don't think I'm going to go.
And I think in the long term, people kind of like know what to expect. Like it's instead of faking it the whole time. Like, yeah, I'd love to go. That sounds great.
I don't think
That
I
would be
get
amazing.
invited to many things anymore.
Yeah, and that seems to be okay.
It's okay
as
for
long as
me.
you're all right with that.
So
Yeah.
again, at the end, as long as you're okay with it, like if like if you were to be like, yeah, but like these family members of yours, they really think you're an asshole. Like, I'm okay with that. That doesn't give me 1 ounce of guilt. I'm like, you know what? They're right. I
Yeah.
kind of am.
Well, the thing for me is
So-
like it might not be a surprise to you, but like I've
Sorry.
spent like literal decades like being the one to like bring people together, like make sure everybody's okay,
Yeah.
and like
I know
be
that
the
family
glue of
member.
the family.
It's exhaustive.
That
It's
was me. It
exhausting.
is exhausting, and especially when you pop out a couple kids and like nobody's to be found. Like I've had a couple of years here. It's just like, oh, I see the way it is. Okay, one-way street. Cool. Yep, done with it, man. Totally done with it. My kids are growing up and like they don't like know two of their uncles. It's just kind of crazy. Meanwhile, not to be just airing out all my dirty laundry, went for a beautiful steak and rib dinner last night at my mother-in-law's.
I
Like
just
a
had
very
steak
special.
myself about 15 minutes ago.
Oh man,
I'm a little bloated. I'm a little full.
You
Yeah.
full?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is
What do you
gone.
even do about that?
My
You gotta go
daughter's
to sleep.
gone. My wife won't be back until late tonight. My daughter's staying at her friend's house. So
Yeah.
it was just me and Jack. And I was like, what do you want to eat? And he was like, let's go to the steakhouse. I was like, good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. We picked it up, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've been
Yeah.
following. The Corona stuff is getting out of hand here again.
I am hearing that, and as soon as I jinxed it, because I'm like, Extra Life is happening,
Tickets
things are
purchased.
booked.
Yeah.
Ah, come on, you
So
guys.
we went and picked it up
Yeah.
and brought it back home.
Yeah. Dang it. I don't think I've ever done that with steak. Was it good?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
great.
Yeah. How do you get your steak done?
Oh, medium rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you said that too. Like
Yeah.
that's the only option.
It really is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think less of people when they're like, I'd like it well done. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
not
What
friends.
are you thinking? Yeah. I will say that for
That's
like a
strange.
burger. If I go get like a ground beef like burger,
depends on where I'm getting it at. If I don't trust the place, then sure.
this is where you would really hate Canada.
But like,
they don't
if
even ask you.
it's a burger spot that like
Yeah.
that's what they do, then
Yeah.
medium.
I don't think I've. Yeah, that probably is as low as I would go. They don't ask you here though. They just cook it the whole way through. It's not even an option. If you're getting a ground beef burger, it's just like
Yeah,
it's
but
not
if you
even
do
a
that to
thing.
a steak, you're ruining steak.
Steak is different. Steak
Yeah,
is
of
different.
course. Steak is different
Yeah.
from ground beef.
Definitely.
You're
Yeah.
ruining steak if you cook it
Oh
well
my
done.
God.
You're just ruining it.
Dude. And I've been very like good with my eating, as I think a lot of people know at this point. But like I've been looking forward to last night for so long, and it didn't matter. I had cake. I had a
them have
gigantic
cake.
steak. I had let them have cake. I had all the things, dude, and it was great. My mother-in-law got me this dorky rainbow keyboard for my birthday. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I feel like you just got
Corsair,
a keyboard.
right?
This looks exactly the same. Corsair. Yeah. It's very. I actually quite like it.
I was
So I'm
happy
gonna
when
be
I got
installing the
my-
SteelSeries one.
This is my first mechanical keyboard, my
Mm-hmm.
first keyboard that lights up, my first all of those things. I've never
Yeah.
had one before, so this was cool. I like
I'm
it.
excited. I think the biggest thing I'm excited about is it's got these macro buttons on the side, like these. It's basically like a Stream Deck. I can program these things to do whatever I want. I can open programs. It can whatever I
wow.
want to do, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's like or if I were streaming again, I could set these to like different scenes. Like you can have it programmed to OBS and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm like it's just such a minor thing, but
Yeah.
and the keyboard is like it seems like it weighs like 20 pounds. Like I think there's like
Really?
just a plate of lead in this thing. It's very heavy, which depending on what you think, like I think that screams quality to me for some reason. Just make it heavy, you know? I don't want to flimsy around or anything like that. Like this is solid.
I think that's what they did with the Xbox controller. They're like, just put some lead in it, and we'll sell it for $200.
Were you ever in, I don't think you probably would have talked about this before. Like were you in like Boy Scouts or anything like that? Like Cubs or Scouts or anything like that?
Sean,
Yeah.
there were several times in my life when I grew up at that age where
Yeah.
we didn't have lights
Yeah.
or
yeah.
a car.
Yeah. Damn. Why
we
do we
didn't
even bring
do
it up?
Boy Scouts, man.
What I'm trying to say is if one is in Boy Scouts, sometimes they'll do little cars. You get like a chunk of wood and you carve out like a car out of it,
Okay.
whatever design you want to
Yeah,
have. It has
I
to
think
be the
I've
same
seen-
width or whatever.
Like TV shows and stuff with references to stuff like that.
Yeah. So
do, like,
so
little
but it has to be a
races?
certain weight.
Yeah.
Yep, and a little ramp. And but it has to be a certain weight. So if you take all the wood out of it, they'll drill holes in it and just like pour hot lead into it. It's
Oh.
basically the same idea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll have you know that I teach Boy Scouts.
Do you?
I do.
How'd you get into that?
I teach the Emergency Preparedness Merit Badge
Oh, that's
on
awesome.
behalf of my office.
Yeah,
When
that's
I
awesome.
started in 2009, the guy before me used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never done, I don't know any other emergency manager that does it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in their handbook. It's like, contact your local emergency manager. So the
Nice.
troop reached out to me. And the guy, I went out there and I did like a presentation. And
Mm-hmm.
the guy was like, we would love it if you would do this for us, because none of their dads want to do it.
Of course.
And they're like, it's great for.
And who are they to fake it?
Well, I think
don't
that's
know
what most
anything.
people do. I think that's what most of them do. Like there's a book in it. You just do what the book says, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But they were like, like we've worked with your office for so long, and my boss just loves that PR. You
Yeah.
go out there,
Oh,
you take
yeah.
a few photos with the Boy Scouts. Everybody loves you. So
Yeah.
I've done that for 10 years now. I do it
they
about
come all dressed up.
twice a year. I go out to
Yeah.
them. They usually have like a troop day, and I'll do like 12 troops in one, and they'll all get their
Wow.
merit badge.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Look at you, just preparing the next generation for, a world that who knows if it'll even
I mean,
be here.
to be honest with you, I kind of fake it too. Every time they're like, "Hey, do you want to come
You
do it?"
do not fake
I gotta
it.
pull the book out and I gotta make sure that I'm getting all the bullets. I'm like, all right,
As any good teacher would.
I gotta review the curricula here. But
Of
yeah,
course, of course.
it's pretty
I
fun.
think it's a good thing. I think it's a good. I think about like how all the things that I'm not going to be able to teach my kids. Like I can't teach them everything. You gotta lean on some expertise around the
Sure.
around the neighborhood.
I always have fun. They're very appreciative.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Look at that. I like it. Well, Dev is a little upset that we're doing this on Saturday. We're upsetting the balance of the weekend.
Oh no,
That's okay though. I think everybody's going to be all right.
it just frees
I
up my
didn't-
Sunday.
It's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, it could go either way, really, Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it's good for
Let's
me.
keep people
That means
guessing.
tomorrow I have all day. Like I'm
So
kind of
tomorrow
tired.
is
I'm
a-
tired of Fool. I don't know if I'm gonna play anything tonight, so I might just put it all off until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll
Yeah.
wake up early and just start playing some stuff.
Did you even try to get into the Halo thing? Did you even know that was a thing?
Oh,
that people are gonna be
I
into?
signed up for it years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been on the Waypoint thing. I'm not like into Halo.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
I
that's why
signed
asked,
up
like,
when they were
didn't sound
doing
like it.
PC beta for Master Chief Collection.
Right.
I think that's when I signed up. That was a couple years ago, right?
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I wonder how it seems like it's just totally random.
So I signed up for that, and I didn't get in.
Yeah. I'm loving that everybody's like, I said, I was thinking about you as people are starting to fire it up and everything. It seems like Halo was cool again. I remember you and I, maybe about a year ago, going like, is Halo cool again?
I don't know.
Like, is it?
I am still not willing to concede that yet. I see all the people that are out there. They're saying all the
Sure.
things that Xbox fans want to hear and want to
Sure.
retweet. They're like, "Oh my god, it's great," and everybody's like, "See, we told you, PlayStation."
Oh, I hate that. I don't want to get into that.
I'm not going to take that at face value. It's like,
Sure.
okay, like what else
Yeah.
are you going to say? I don't know how critical those folks are being. Also, there's like a lot of, man, I really wish you guys could play this. I'm going to go play it some more. I honestly don't know how much because here's the thing. Here's the analogy that I'll use. If you got into Halo 5's multiplayer early and you played it and you were like, Halo's awesome again,
Right.
you would have been wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Because Halo 5's multiplayer, according to the people that would know, is awesome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The game is, the game was troubled, it's supposed to be awesome. So
Isn't that amazing? Like, and that's the whole thing. Like, now it's separate from the campaign, really. Like, with this next one, it's totally free. Like, I was talking to Dev earlier today, and like, it just kind of hit me again. Like, this game is free. This,
Like,
this
last
multiplayer
year-
will be free.
everybody, threw their arms up about them ever splitting the game. And
Right.
there is actually a case to be made that maybe they should.
Yeah.
Maybe they should split the solo from from this, at least so they can be judged separately as opposed to tied together.
Exactly. You'd think that I wonder how that would have impacted Halo 5.
Yeah, of course.
If the multiplayer was just free.
If it
and
was
everybody
Halo
like,
5
okay.
multiplayer. And then Halo 5 campaign.
Right. Yeah. Or Call of Duty.
Yeah.
What if Call of
Anything
Duty were
that's
to
like
do that?
that focused on something. But here's the thing. I don't feel any FOMO because I'm not the right person to go to for Halo
Right.
opinion anyway. Like I wouldn't
Well,
know.
Halo
Like I
opinion or
watched
betas.
I watched some.
Yeah.
I said this on Empire. Like I watched some Halo Infinite multiplayer. Sean,
Mm-hmm.
if the stream had said Master Chief Collection, I wouldn't have known the difference.
Good point.
I really wouldn't
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
have. That's just me being honest. Like I wouldn't know. I can't tell that it's different
Mm-hmm.
without somebody like explicitly pointing out. Like I saw somebody
Sure.
was like, I like this grapple hook hammer combination.
Oh, yeah.
And like they grappled, they flew all the way over, and then they smashed the guy with a hammer.
That's
And I was like,
awesome.
that looks cool.
Yeah.
But like if you were like, this was in Master Chief Collection, I would believe you because I don't know anybody.
Okay, so that's kind of more. I would love to have them like pull a fast one on some people and go like, here's the Halo Infinite technical beta, and it's like Halo 5.
I totally
Like,
think that's.
Steve,
I
like,
think
wouldn't
that's
that be
possible.
amazing? They just fool people.
I
Yeah,
think it's
totally.
possible sometimes. They
I
could
think
just
it's
release a
possible,
new
too.
map.
Yeah.
And like it would get over.
Totally.
But for me, and I don't speak for most people, but I think I speak for some. My opinion on Halo will single-handedly come down to the single player. I could care
Right.
less about the multiplayer.
Yeah. Well, we need a date on this thing.
It's going to be in
We
November.
need a freaking date. I mean, it doesn't really. We're getting Forza anyways.
Potentially
It's all good.
December, but
Yeah.
I think November.
Oh, like, December's too late. December is
not.
way too late.
But
It's
but when they put it in Game Pass, Sean, there is no too late. It doesn't matter.
I know, but I want it sooner.
Of course you do, but it doesn't matter. They'll put it in,
Yeah.
if they want to put it in December, they can. It's just a matter of how far along are they in the single player.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like if they're ready, I think it'll be November. I think they're waiting on Call of Duty.
Well, now they don't have to worry about Horizon. I don't know if they really were, but you know,
No, I don't think they
that was
were.
you don't think so? That seemed like the big like Sony one. Like
Dude.
that's kind of the
Nobody should be upset about Horizon.
Nobody's
Horizon
upset.
confirmed the inevitable, like what we all knew. Like this is not shocking news at all.
the delay itself. I don't.
I said
know
back
if you
in
should be upset
June
about.
or May. It's in our Discord. I was like, it's
That's-
totally delayed.
That's the thing is like, should you be upset with like they put out this date for this and for God of War, and it's like there was no way.
That's how Sony does business. That's how
Yeah.
they've always done business. If you look at Sony for the last 10 years, or at least the PlayStation 4 generation, they give you
Yeah.
these early peaks of games and they kind of lead you along, and they all get delayed. Like, how many times did Last of Us get delayed? They dated The Last of Us. They're like, and it's out in 2 months. And then 2 days later, they're like, scratch that.
That was
No,
amazing.
it's not. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they do this all the time. They did it with Uncharted. Like, this is just kind of par for the course for them.
just it is what it is.
I think
yeah.
it's a part of their marketing, and I often bring this up, and I honestly I mean to say this as kind of just to point it out. It's not it's not an objective opinion like pro or con, but I always bring up this video. There's this video on YouTube. It's from
Yeah.
Kyle Bossman of Easy
Oh,
Allies, and like at E3, I don't know, 2015 or 16 or something, he released this video talking about the power of unreleased exclusives.
Oh yeah.
And how much power they have like over the customer, and how you will buy so much stuff just off of the whiff of this
Yeah.
unreleased console, and you'll stay invested until it comes out, and then when it comes out, like it loses all of its stroke and power. You need that next thing. I believe that to be absolutely true. I think
I
it's
completely agree.
objectively true, and I think
Dangerous game.
I think the company that uses that the most to their success is absolutely PlayStation. Like, they do that and then some. They are masters at it. Like when I remember, oh God, it's 2 years ago when they showed when they talked about God of War. I remember going on PSXP and I was like,
Oh yeah.
nobody can believe that.
Not a chance.
But
Yeah.
I was wrong, because I also remember Bad Bit in his Discord full of folks. They were like, I can't believe we're getting all of these the first year of PS5. I was like, there's no way. Like, it's impossible. But they believe it. And how many people will buy a console solely off of that belief, even if they don't believe it, even if they want to believe it. Like
Sure,
if they're just
yeah.
hopefully optimistic that it could be true. That's
Well,
enough to
it's-
win somebody over.
You were already on the cusp of buying it anyways.
Of course.
And like you know
You're
what I
just
mean? Like
looking
it's not
for it.
necessarily right because
Yeah.
I'm kind of I wasn't on the cusp, and that wasn't enough for me to go like, yeah, I'll totally get it, so that I will have that system when those games come out. It's like I do it kind of the opposite. Like I'll wait for that to come out and kind of see what happens with this whole expansion storage, and maybe one day they'll have a smaller version of it or cheaper or something like that. Like
Dev
I'm
said
kinda
no
good
one
on
should
that.
be upset, but Dev and I know a couple people that are upset. Like there was several people in our own Discord that they're really banking on Horizon being this year, despite me telling them that it wasn't happening.
Right, like, that's true. If you thought if you bought your system counting on this to come out at a certain time, and now there's going to be
It's
even more of a
deflating. You shouldn't
How
be
can you not
upset,
be?
but it's deflating. I mean, it's video games. Video
Sure.
games get delayed across the entire industry. It's not a
Totally.
publisher thing. It's everybody does it, especially now. But even without COVID, scratch
Yeah.
that. Like scratch the last 2 years out of existence. This is not new. Games
That's
always get delayed. Doom Eternal got delayed. Uncharted 4
Yeah,
got delayed.
Cyberpunk,
Everything
Final
gets
Fantasy
delayed.
15.
It all gets delayed. Assassin's Creed, it all
Yeah.
gets delayed. So this
Yeah.
is not anything that I don't think anybody should ever be upset over delays.
right on its
Like,
own. On
it
its
can
own.
screw up your plans. Like I would have bought Deathloop had it not been delayed, and I was bummed that it was.
Yeah,
I'm not like not buying it,
That's
in
a good way to put
protest.
it.
I'm not buying it because now it's in a window
now it's in a window. Mhm.
where I am playing something else.
Yeah.
So it's bummer, but I'm eventually going to buy it. It doesn't bother me at all that it was delayed. Nobody should be upset that it was delayed.
Yeah,
Sony's entire calendar was delayed.
yeah.
That's what I was saying.
it was Ubisoft.
When
Ubisoft
Ratchet
did it
was
last year.
delayed, in our Discord, I was like, Horizon's not this year.
Yeah,
And Kena got delayed, and I was like, yeah, see, they're just pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is getting like a 5-month bump.
Which is, I mean, even based on the fact that they've got 10 million sold, they're still selling no matter what. They don't like they actually don't even need to give out
Yeah.
like put out games right now.
Yeah.
Like actually hold them, like whether or not it's about the quality of them or not. I think that's like Nintendo does it where they just don't even tell you about the game, and everything we keep
Well, that's
hearing. I don't know
new
if
for
there's any
them.
truth to this.
They,
Sure,
They walk that walk. You're right.
they've
You're
just
not
got
wrong.
this catalog of games that they haven't told you about that
Right.
apparently are ready. Like, what is
Nintendo-
that like?
Since the Wii U, Nintendo has adjusted their strategy where they give you like one or two games that you, and it's honestly almost on, like they almost have it down to like a it's repetitive. Like every year they
Totally
give you
is.
one more thing for next year, and it's like every year, like next like Spring Direct, they'll give us something that's beyond Splatoon 3. You know, like
Yeah.
they'll announce one thing and it'll be 2 years away. But that seems
Yeah.
to be like their thing is they give you one. You know, Xbox, they've given them all. They
Well, now
literally
they've joined
came
the
out
PlayStation thing.
and they just fired everything they had. Like they gave you like a 6-year window. They're like, here's
Yeah.
what we're doing. I think they had to
I think so
to
too.
get anybody interested in their box. So, and they did. But I think it's interesting as we go forward, because we saw this a little bit this past year, where everybody was like, "What are they going to show?" And what did I keep telling you and everybody else? They've already
Yeah.
shown it.
It's there. Mhm.
We know what they're going to show us. They're just going to show us what it actually looks. There's no.
Now it's just Game Pass.
Yeah,
What's the
there's
Game
there's
Pass on
one
day
or two games here from an Arcane or a second party or something that we don't
Sure.
know about, but 80% of what they're doing until 2025, we know.
Yeah,
We know
Yeah.
what they're doing. So
it's fun times though, man. It's good stuff.
it is. It
I'm
is.
enjoying
And
it.
Horizon's going to be great. I can't wait.
That's just it. I'm gonna be playing on my PS4. To be honest with you, I'll probably play it there.
I couldn't play it this fall anyway. I mean, I would have
Right.
moved Helen, you know, like
Yeah,
I would have
personally,
moved
I'm great
mountains.
with it.
I would have moved mountains to try, but we were talking about this on our Discord. If there are no more delays, I'm full from like
Oh, yeah.
August 20th until
What's that?
December 25th. I'm packed. August
August
that
20th?
week, August 27th is No More Heroes 3. That's where it really kicks off for me.
Yeah.
And we do No More Heroes, and I got WarioWare, and I got
I gotta
Mario
pick that up
Party,
again.
and you know, like there's just a bajillion things. I've got Kenna that I'll be doing, Pokemon I'll be doing. You know, throw a Halo in there, a Forza, Far Cry. All of that gets me to Dying Light 2. Like I'm
Oh my
spoken for through
Oh my God.
like easily through
Yeah.
January 1st.
Yeah.
So yeah, and not to mention PlayStation hasn't been dropping games in the fall anyway. So
Right.
and
That is the biggest thing. That would like when they even said that these games were coming out the holiday kind of window. It's like that's not normal for
no,
them.
they haven't been doing
You
that
know?
for many years now, and
They
it's smart.
want this totally, absolutely.
Yeah, they partner with
Let it-
Call of Duty. They've got that marketing deal, the biggest game
Yep.
in the world.
Yep.
They'll start promoting, you know, Battlefield and all the other third party Madden and everything else. They'll let that fill the holiday. Far Cry,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, they'll point you in that direction, and
Yeah.
then after everything comes out in the fall and Christmas, and everything, then they'll start showing Horizon again and get ready for launch. I guess my only thing is, is it February? Is it March? Or is it like June? Like what is
Whenever Breath of the Wild is
that's
coming
the
out.
thing. Nah,
A couple days before that.
I saw a lot of people saying that Breath of the Wild. I'm not even sure Breath of the Wild's even coming out next year.
Interesting, really.
But if it does come out next year, it's going to be next fall, and Horizon's not
Yeah.
going to be delayed that long.
Sure,
Horizon's
yeah.
soon. God of War
Yeah.
might not be there, but Horizon will be there pretty soon.
Do we know if God of War is a game, or is it like a, I don't even know what else you would call it. Like, is it like just an expansion, like a standalone kind of thing, or is it like a
don't know.
sequel? Like, I don't know.
know.
We have a logo, I think, that we
We
saw.
haven't, yeah,
and
we
maybe
haven't
they
gotten
even
much.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm
okay.
not convinced God of War's next year.
Yeah.
Like if you're telling me like God of War is 2023, I'm like, yeah, it's possible.
Honestly, if you were to just sort of like place that bet on every game, you're probably going to come out mostly a winner.
Yay,
Like
it
you just
worked
say,
for
like
me
you
and
just doubt
Ubisoft.
every game. Yeah.
I said on their show, I
right.
was like,
You
they're
didn't even mention-
delaying
Did you mention
everything.
Far Cry?
I'm sorry.
Like in your lineup of like this fall
Yeah,
or
I
whatever,
did.
like Far
Far
Cry's
Cry.
in there. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Those are
Far Cry and
huge
Metroid
games.
come out in the same weekend.
That's
And then I've got
ridiculous.
3 weeks to play them or so before like
Yeah.
Pokemon. And then I got 3-4 weeks to play that
What
before
in the
Dying Light. I
world?
mean, it's I saw somebody, there was a there's a popular video game journalist. He was like, 2022 has been a bust for video games. I'm like, are you kidding me? 2022
has been a bust.
Or yeah, this year. I'm sorry, 2021. I was like, this year looks amazing for new games
No
if
doubt.
everything holds. And I say that as somebody who hasn't been overly impressed with what I've played so far, but that's because I know there's just a mountain of games about to release.
Yeah.
And I think that pace will keep up actually through like next year. A lot of things have been delayed because of COVID, and eventually they'll all start to bottleneck and start coming out on top of each other.
That's what I don't want. That's what a normal year is, and that sucks. It doesn't feel good to have too many games come out. It feels nice to be able to. I mean, it kind of happened in July a little bit. I mean, for me, anyways, with Skyward Sword and Monster Hunter stories too.
Super Knight says I can see another Breath of the Wild 2 delay. I keep trying to remind people that nobody wants to hear me. Yeah, I'm like, guys, I watched Breath of the Wild for a decade.
Yeah, this is Zelda.
This is what they do. I don't trust, because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they thought they could, and then as they worked on it, they were like, but what if, but what if, but what, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
You know? So,
and also not necessarily a. Did they say? Well, they gave us a year, didn't they? Did they say 2022?
They said this is the I don't know, like the smoking gun here. They said we're working our best to try and get it to you next year, and it's like, it's not.
Yeah, no way. Which is okay. Which is totally okay.
I think they're okay. It's been a lighter period for me. Kind of a miss on the Nintendo front, but like there's still a lot of games I'm very excited for, and they're pretty solid. As long as if, like a Splatoon makes it, like they're fine. Yeah, they'll be absolutely fine. I think Splatoon will be up before Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's a good bet. Yeah,
I'm almost positive that Splatoon 3 drops before Breath of the Wild does.
It'd be interesting to see, like, you know, what they do to Splatoon and if it's going to be enough for people. You know, like, are they going to actually give people what they can you vote on? Can you play on any map? Is it always going to be the same, like still the same limitations?
Stop. This is how you get hurt. This is just like the Animal Crossing news that came out. They're like, they're not. Stop.
I know, isn't that
amazing? It's Nintendo.
Amazing?
Stop. It's not Xbox. Stop bringing your Xbox-like expectations. They will give us more Splatoon 3. They'll still rotate the map. We'll still have to click through the dumb intro. And it's going to be freaking awesome because Splatoon's awesome. Like it is awesome. It could be great. Like it could be so much better, but at the end of the day, it is awesome. So like I'm very excited for Splatoon. I cannot wait to play Splatoon.
This is very helpful for me to chat with you and Kato actually about Nintendo just in general. Just like take it down and Sean.
Yeah, you gotta stop bringing your Keanu Reeves level of expectation. Like just let's bring it down here.
Yeah, probably.
It's
I mean,
smarter
the
for you.
Soul Ed, like that's
you won't be hurt nearly as much.
It's so hard not to want more.
I don't think there's anybody in the world that wanted the Switch Pro more than me. But at the same time, as I said for weeks, we always knew that the OLED was a potential. Like we always knew that when they showed us the thing that it wasn't going to be the thing. Like that's just Nintendo.
Yeah, it just makes the most sense to me.
It shouldn't
now that
have
it's a
come
thing,
out
it
as
actually makes.
It shouldn't have shocked anybody.
I know. Well, because we just got like so. It seemed like the 4K thing was a rumor for so long.
Oh, I'm with you.
Like you know,
and DLSS seems ready. Like its implementation on PC seems very solid, and lots of games take advantage of it. So like it seems like the magic elixir for Nintendo. But at the same time, we all should have considered that to be. And I said it when the first rumor came out. I told Rebecca, I was like, this would be a generational leap for the Switch.
Right.
That's what it felt like, a huge leap forward for the Switch. We should have known then that they would save that for their next big thing.
Right, which makes more sense for it to happen maybe when like sales are dipping, just like all the games,
or when you want to launch
a
big new game.
Yeah, like when we got Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, because it'll still release it on your Switch and it'll play okay.
Yeah,
but what a perfect way to jumpstart the sale of a new system. Let us show you how great this looks on the new thing.
That's what you and I have agreed on the entire time.
Here's 80 million new Switch sales. They're all going to buy the new thing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying. Like, and you kind of laughed at me where I'm like, just do what they did last time. Do it all over again.
Yeah.
You know, they launched with one of the best games ever made, and then they followed up in that holiday with a Mario game, which was, you know, a lot of people liked quite a lot.
And let's say if Breath of the Wild does get delayed out of next year, then that actual timing lines up for a new Mario game.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. For all the entire catalog.
And a cart.
Yeah.
Like they very well could go a whole other year or 18 months on the OLED and then announce Breath of the Wild 2 with a new Switch and then announce a cart and a Mario and reset it and keep going.
Yeah.
And that would get you 6+ years with your old Switch. Like there's nobody's going to be upset or feel misled about that. And if you got the OLED, then you can still sell it. Like it'll still sell. You can
Can I
trade it
make
in.
can I make a prediction that there will be an OLED Lite? Like, so we're
Sure.
gonna have like this naming convention just kind of continue on. It'll just be like the Nintendo Switch OLED model Lite version or something like that. Because that one I will buy day one.
The Switch
That
Lite
one I will
OLED.
be there. Yeah, I will be there for that one.
Yeah,
Does that make sense to me?
we had I think we had somebody write in that they were considering that was like a way for Nintendo to, like they're essentially finding a way to readjust their price.
Yep.
So like they bring in the Switch at $350, so then maybe they bump the Lite to $250,
Yep.
and then they hold there for I think like 18 months. Like if you want to be conservative, maybe like 2 years before they
Yep.
do the next thing.
Definitely.
And then but here's the thing: if there's a lot of cross-gen games, like if they're
Yeah.
still planning on supporting the old one, then at that point in time, then you can cut the price back to what people were expecting.
That's the biggest reason why we don't have like the next that generational leap is
Yeah.
because they just don't do that cross-gen stuff very well. You know.
I think with the Switch they can.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the Switch is holding back Nintendo's development. It doesn't seem like much. I
No.
think
No.
Bowser's Fury is the only game that has really truly like stressed the Switch from Nintendo.
From Nintendo.
Most
yeah.
everything else runs beautifully on the Switch. So like they're
Link's
not,
Awakening was an example that was a little surprising.
good point. Yeah, it struggled. It struggled.
Yeah, there's a couple in there for sure. Yeah. How's your laptop? Did it come
haven't
in?
got it yet.
Did it arrive? What the crap? I was so excited for you.
I'm
Oh, no.
and I'm feeling it because a lot of the
Oh.
times when I'm gaming and stuff, I have my laptop sitting next to me. I can look
Yeah,
at
same here.
Discord and stuff. I haven't had it all week, and I'm feeling the crunch.
What is happening?
It just got delayed. It came from Utah for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It went to New England, and now it's in North Carolina. And it's like it's slowly getting here, but it's taking its. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It was supposed
Yeah.
to be here Tuesday. Then it got
Oh,
delayed
no.
to yesterday, and then it was like I think it's Tuesday again.
Who's shipping it? Is it a UPS thing? Is it who is it?
FedEx.
Yeah, dang it.
Yep.
I mean, FedEx has got a good track record, don't they?
I
don't know,
pulled
at
out.
least for
I have
me.
an old Chromebook.
Yeah.
I pulled out my old Chromebook, and that's why it's charging. It's actually charging right now. It's
Yeah.
not even that old. I got this on Black Friday last year for $100 for Jack, and then
Yeah.
I gave Jack one of my old ones, like when he did virtual school. So I've just kept it down here. It's a little 12-inch, aluminum.
Does he
Chromebook,
have
so-
something for school? Like, does he have a laptop or Chromebook or something? Like,
He
is
has
that like a?
both of my kids have like really nice Chromebooks for school.
And that's like what everybody has. Like when we were kids, like you get
Yeah.
like a binder, like you get all your school supplies and stuff, and like that's part of the deal.
Yep.
Is
Because he was using this one, and like I said, it's 12 inches, so it's small. It's more like a netbook or like a tablet, and I just
Sure.
didn't think it was really good for him for school.
right.
So I gave him my old one, which was like a nice 15-inch, like
15's
Pixel
good.
book, right? And then I just took this one, and it's been in my drawer all year, and I
Yeah.
didn't pull it out until today because I was like, I can't keep
Yeah.
waiting for I need a laptop. Like I'm feeling the need because even the other day, Thursday, I was working, and I didn't want to work. Like I wanted to go sit, like my back was hurting. I wanted to go sit in my recliner and like work. I'm doing emails and stuff, and I couldn't. And I'm like, this is driving me nuts. I need my
Oh,
laptop
man.
already.
yeah.
So
I also feel that need. Like I can't remember what exactly. Oh, I was filling out. I was requesting a game, and somehow I was doing it on my phone, and somehow like it hit submit before I was done. And I'm like, why do I do anything on my phone? Why am I typing anything on my phone?
I
It
hate
sucks.
typing on my phone.
I hate doing anything on
This
my
is
phone.
why I hate my
Typing,
phone. Like this is why, like I hate my phone because my boss switched me to an iPad or an
Right.
iPod or iPhone. That's what's called, right? iPhone.
yeah, iPod. I thought you
It's
had
my
it right.
it's my first iPhone, so like forgive me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hate it. Like I hate typing on it. I hate
it
everything
sucks.
about it. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because I rarely
Right.
use it.
Right.
That's why my laptop was so important to me because when I'm at work
Mm-hmm.
and I travel and stuff, I'm on my laptop. I never look at my phone. I don't care about my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quite honestly, I don't even want you calling me. Like just text me or email. So that's why I need my laptop. I'm very excited for my laptop and I want it to arrive, but it's taking its sweet time.
That's why I like I need my text messages to be able to happen. Like if I have a Mac, I could have like my message or whatever.
Yeah,
and
you
it
can
all
do that on
connects, that's
Android.
all nice. Yeah, and I don't have that with any unless I'm using like Hangouts
the
with
biggest-
like Chelsea and I have
The biggest thing
Hangout.
that I miss about my Android phone is that I used Google Messages, which has a
Yep.
browser version. So I use it across
Yep.
all devices. So you can text me, I get on my phone, I get on my PC at home, get on my Chromebook. Since I moved to the iPhone, they don't have anything like that. You got to have a Mac to do it on your computer. So I've actually moved my entire family to Signal. We're using an app.
Oh, what's that?
It's just an app that you can download.
Signal.
It's like a security message, text message. Like a lot of the FBI, GBI folks use it because apparently it doesn't like monitor your location and, you know, pry into your messages and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah.
So I have Signal, and me and the family text that way because if you send me a text by phone, there's be 4 or 5 hours pass before I look at it.
Totally.
You know, whereas if you message me on my computer, I'm going to see it right away.
Mm-hmm. I just want something that like collects it all. Although that's probably, you know, totally counter to the whole security element of it. But I would love like one app that just goes like, okay, somebody messaged me by text, it sends it back as a text or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can just select it all. Because I don't want to do anything with my phone anymore.
Dude, I miss my BlackBerry, Tony.
Oh,
I love my BlackBerry. You know, they tried to make a comeback.
Oh my gosh.
They tried to make a comeback with a new device, and I begged my boss to buy it for me, and he was like, I'm not buying a BlackBerry.
Yeah. It was one of the last requests that I did. Like they still had the form. You could select an iPhone or a BlackBerry. And I actually checked off the BlackBerry box and like, that's an old form now.
Oh,
they
man.
can't do it anymore.
And the new one had a screen that slid up. It was Android based, but it had an actual keyboard.
Yeah.
God, what I would
that's all I
kill
want.
for an actual phone keyboard.
Yes.
Damn phone companies you can't just make a key. Like it's just too expensive for you. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
That's all I want. Or a flip phone. Maybe I'll just go back to that.
Do the Sidekick.
Like flip phones, when you see a flip phone, it almost looks like a rotary phone at this point. Like it looks like it's from just a completely different time.
I miss my Sidekick.
Which I guess it is.
That was the best phone.
Was that the LG one? They kind of like turn it
Samsung.
sideways?
No, T-Mobile, yeah. Yeah, it's a screen. It had buttons on the right and left, and then you could just pop it out and it would flip up.
Oh, yeah.
I love that phone so much. Mm-hmm. I took out like a ridiculous contract to get that phone when I was 17.
It was expensive, yeah.
Oh, like I look back on it, I'm like, what the hell does it matter with you paying $160 a month for a phone? But I love that phone. I kid you not. I don't think it's ever gotten better for me since it's all been downhill since the Sidekick.
That's the way isn't that just life, Donnie? At a certain point, you reach your peak, and then it's just kind of.
It'd be perfect for Nintendo. Just make a Sidekick-like Switch device.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that'd be so good.
Did you see that Playdate thing that I think Garrett's all excited about? I don't know.
I've seen it.
Did you? Are you gonna? It seems like something you would get.
No. What?
Really? I don't know. It's a thing. It's a buy. Seems like something.
Why?
For Donnie.
Why would I? What would I play on it?
I don't know.
For
seems
what
like you
purpose?
like little gadgets like that.
No, I do not.
No, not even.
No. No.
I can't believe I'm not even close. Like not even. Oh, I think it looks
ballpark.
awesome.
I laughed at it the first time I ever saw it. It's like,
really?
What a joke.
Oh, wow.
See, that's how I've always. See, that's the thing. You got to remember, I never really had portables. Like I've always mocked portables, even as a diehard Nintendo fan. You know, everybody's like, "I love my GBA." I'm like, "Why would you want to play that old thing?" You know, I've always been. You know, I am more. I think I'm definitely more techie than most Nintendo folks.
Right.
You know, so like. Yeah, when I looked at that, and they're like, "Why don't you go play some of these bit games and wind up your?" I was like, "What?
What is the wind up?
Who wants
is that like
to
what
do
powers
that?
it? Like what even is that?
I think it's like a control mechanism. Like you can actually control some games that way.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, it's like part of the controller.
Dev is laughing at me for even suggesting.
Yeah, it's like what a joke. No.
That was so we're discovering there are certain things that like people can put out there on the market, and you'll say no, thank you.
Oh yeah, I had no interest.
Like
in
there is a line somewhere.
Yeah, I like tech. Okay. I like cool tech. Something that like advances and does something better. Like that's why I didn't get a Nintendo handheld until the 3DS because I actually thought 3DS was cool. I was like, man, it's got 3D. Like you see the graphics, it looks great. It's like 3D games.
No glasses.
I was just happy like it played actual 3D games. Like you know, it's like you know because everybody was trying to sell me on them. We're like, you can play Mario Bros on your Nintendo DS. It's like. I have a Wii. Like, who's doing that?
Well, you can take it on the go.
Way more people than
absolutely.
me. I was just wrong.
Yeah.
Lots of people were, but.
Well, isn't the Playdate isn't it like basically like running a bunch of? Can you run a bunch of ROMs on it? Like, isn't that the deal that you can?
Yeah,
do,
I think so.
like,
I think I've seen people say stuff like that, and I'm sure it's going to be like the original Doom. Or something.
What do you mean?
I have a Switch. Like
they're
not
not
going
to.
You're not going to be able to play like lots of games on it, Sean. It's going to be like old CD-ROMs and stuff. Super Nintendo games, stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was basically just an emulator that you take on the go with you.
Yeah, but what kind of just because you have an emulator doesn't make it like magic. still has to have a processor and stuff that
I
can make
know
it work.
that.
Oh, I'm like, what kind
Yeah.
of games are you expecting it to play?
Like all the, like still handheld, but emulating across like Game Boy and GBA and all these other like I don't
Maybe,
know,
yeah, like
Gear.
Game Boy, sure. Game Boy and GBA,
Yeah.
sure. But like,
Yeah, I just
even like Rebecca and Garrett's Retro Pocket, like you can't run N64 games.
oh, okay.
like
That's,
PlayStation,
okay,
like,
that's
there are
kind of what I'm
limits.
thinking of, actually, it's a Retroid Pocket.
Yeah,
that
there are
does that,
limits to
actually.
like what things can do, and
Yeah.
I don't expect that'll be able to do much.
Well, and I'm on the side of like
It's like
one of
$200 too.
the yeah. It's
What a
pretty
joke.
pricey. Yeah, it's pretty. And it was sold out, dude.
Just get the Retro
like-
Pocket instead.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of chic, like it's got a weird control scheme. So I think it's more like it's like a cool thing. It's like an item.
It looks. If you think of the word gadget, like
Yeah.
I feel like it looked
Yeah.
like that's the picture that kind of comes up in my mind.
Tetris.
It's like prank.
Dev says it's a Tetris machine, and
It's
it
a
probably
Tetris
will be
machine.
an awesome Tetris machine, actually.
Yeah, the play date, Joe. Yeah.
Oh, Joe's here. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, trophy room. Mm-hmm. It's a hipster handheld. Okay,
Yeah.
so that actually is a good way to put it. Then,
Yeah.
and also the reason why Donnie isn't. Really
I'm
all
out of
for
that
it.
market.
I'm not like like emulate. We laughed. I think it was last week or the week before talking about the Steam Deck, and I'm like I didn't think of emulation because like I just had maybe one too many like not great experiences with emulators back in the day.
I got
the best
my-
emulation I've got is the ROMs I dump on the Super Nintendo and NES Classic Edition.
I got my SSD for my emulators on my new PC when it arrives.
What is like? What do you got on that?
This
That
is
thing
a
just
this is a
jam-packed with
1
ROMs?
terabyte SSD that I'm going to put all my ROMs emulators on.
Why do you need it on an SSD? Just because it's smaller?
Well, I'm going to put my Steam
It's
games
just
on. It's just
compact.
expansive. It's just expansive memory.
Okay. Well, I was thinking
This
if
is
you're
going to be
doing
like
ROMs and stuff,
this
that
is going to
thing
be like my
fast.
video game drive. Like all of
Yeah.
my gaming stuff will go on this one drive.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like more than if you're having more than just ROM. So I was just questioning, like, why do you need such a speedy?
Oh
drive
yeah, no, I'm
for-
sorry. I could have mentioned
emulation.
it'll be for Steam stuff too. It'll be my Steam
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm seeing these prices come down kind of nicely too for a speedy external drive and everything. Dude,
Well, they're about
like,
$200.
it's not bad. It's not terrible for a 1 terabyte. That's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
it's better than external SSDs are a little bit more, but yeah, you can catch
course,
a deal
yep.
or so around 200, or you can get like an enclosure and wrap. That's what I have on my Xbox. I have an
Right.
internal SSD that's wrapped in an enclosure. You can do that as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, storage with all things, storage will come down in price rapidly. Just give it time. Give it about a year or two.
Yeah. I've got to set up something for Chelsea too, because like she has so much, like what she's taking like literally like thousands of pictures on a weekend, and it's really important for her to be able to like store all that stuff for her clients for at least a year, maybe 2 years, and have that at the ready, and then basically have this cycle where things are backed up, but you can't keep everything forever. But I would love to have like a server in the house. It's kind of like this thing that I keep coming back to, I keep thinking about, and I just want to maybe like price it out.
Put it in the cloud.
Yeah. Okay. So where
Do
can
it
I
virtually.
do
That way you don't have to. That way you don't have to. You don't have to mess with it. You just sync
We're
it to all
talking
your
about
devices.
terabytes, though. That's,
Yeah,
and I've
do it
been
in the
thinking,
cloud.
I'd love to do that. Like, we need probably
Do it like
let me
Google.
think off the top of my head, probably like 10 terabytes. I need like pricing.
that's
on
a
that,
lot.
That's what I mean. Like we've got hard drives upon hard drives. In a year, she'll probably do about 8 terabytes worth of pictures.
Yeah, you
maybe
probably need
more.
like Amazon Web Services or something for that.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm thinking. Like cloud is great because somebody else backs it up and all that stuff. I don't have to take
10
up space or
terabyte
even-
of ultra secure cloud storage for $100.
a month or a year or period.
Wow, this says lifetime subscription. It's on pocketnow.com. It's an article. I'm trying to find a date. It was released earlier this year.
I like that I can. This
some
is
startup.
It's my favorite part about doing a podcast is sometimes I'll just like throw things out there and go like, I don't know how to, hack my 3DS. And that, which is what I did, I think last week or the week before. And I've had like 5 people reach out and go, this is how you do it. Here's the link. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm set. That's awesome, man. That is great. I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
keep kind of doing that, putting these call outs out there.
Did you put?
What is
you
my
posted.
solution?
You posted your round in the lunch club, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a -3. I had a -3.
I think I got
So-
to 7 or 8.
Yeah. It was a hard one. I did it a couple times.
Bowser's
and,
course
yeah,
is pretty tough.
it was pretty tough. Yeah. Nine
One round.
holes was, yep. That's it. Half a round.
I post my one round.
Oh, you did it in one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a good game, man.
I felt pretty good on that one. I dropped
Did
a
you
couple
see more
putts.
people come in? I know you were mentioning not a lot of people.
When
a
I
couple
posted
days
my
ago.
round, there were only like 5 or 6. I haven't checked it since I posted it. But if we don't have more people, then I'm gonna shut it down.
Well, and this is the thing that maybe is it because there was a good month in between, and do you have like build up week over week? Like, is it the consistency thing? It's kind of like this show. Like this show could be monthly, but it's better that it's weekly.
We'll
Like,
have to-
I don't
we'll have to
know
talk
if
about
that's
that at some point in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know either. I mean, we've done it both ways. We did it for 2 years every week, and we only had like 9 or 10 people most weeks, but some weeks we'd have like 20, 25.
We could do this show
If we
monthly.
had 10 or 15 people doing it, I keep doing it. But if I'm going to post it and it's just,
Yeah.
if I'm going to post it and it's going to be 6 people, I'm not going to keep doing it.
We could take turns. We
Yeah.
could take in terms of like making it.
Sure. I mean, it's not that.
I mean, that's not. I'm sure. It's
Yeah,
not
that doesn't bother me. It's just I want people to play with. You know, we keep doing it. It's just 5 of us. We could just sync up and play together.
Yeah.
Like we could just be like, all right, let's all
That's
play.
true.
It's Saturday at 10 in the morning. We'll all play.
Yeah.
We could just do
Well,
that.
Just play the new Mario Golf. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Trophy room. Talk about the golf thing. Yeah. 3DS.
I'm not gonna play the new golf.
I need a NAS. Is that Dev saying that for my my server kind of setup?
Maybe
Something like that.
I don't know what
Yeah.
NOS is. It's
Yeah.
like
I think
Fast
that's
and the
just
Furious
a bunch
NOS.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Yeah,
that's in
the-
OS. That's NOS.
I know.
Okay,
NOS.
never mind.
It's like the first energy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a giant can, NOS or something. Well, what else was there? What was it? Was it's slipping my mind. What the energy drink from like So damn it, it's gone.
What?
I don't remember what it was called. The energy they had like an energy drink back in the day. It was like just a lot
Surge?
of, but they didn't. No, it was really old. It's
Jolt.
Jolt Cola. Yes,
I loved
that's what
Jolt
it
when I was a kid.
Yeah, Jolt Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you boys fighting Tim Cook from Apple this week? Says Trophy Room. I don't know what would be fighting him
Yeah.
about.
What did we
this
do?
week.
What did he do?
I don't know. I don't think we're allowed to buy anything from anybody right
Joe,
now.
are you fighting your SSDs? Are you building heat sinks? I made that joke on PSXP this week. I can't wait to see that.
I wasn't even gonna even bring it up.
I
you
was
know?
being nice
I-
about it. I was legit being nice, but BMox started dropping all kinds of memes and stuff. He's just breaking Dev's heart. I was like, BMox, man, you are savage.
That is really the way that you just go about that. Like, just make your opinion and just don't even look back, man. Like, this is inconvenient, and you go for it, 100%.
Yeah, he was coming in hard. He's messing with the RSS feeds. Are you talking like the Apple thing that people are? I know people are having issues with their podcast feeds and stuff. Is
Yeah,
that what he's
every
talking
once in a
about?
while, it kind of
I
pops
never
up,
had that
yeah.
issue.
Yeah, if you don't log into your Podcast Connect, then you'll be fine. But when you log it in for the first, because they did some sort of, like,
I did
migration or something.
I remember.
Oh, okay.
I did the migration. I think months before you guys
Yeah.
had issues.
Yeah.
But I kept seeing people and I kept checking. I was fine.
It disappeared for a little while. I think the Xbox Drive actually disappeared for a little bit. I wonder if I actually gone back to check to see if it came
Who
back.
cares? Nobody cares about Apple anymore. Just get off that. People need to be on like Spotify or Pocket
Spotify.
Cast or something
Yeah.
something else. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll check later. I don't know, man. What the heck was I just bugging you about? Oh, then the
Jolt.
expansion drive, the Gen Jolt Cola.
The expansion drives. We were making fun of expansion drives.
I mean, you're not going to convince somebody who thinks that it's easy that it's not easy.
That's
Like, they're
totally
gonna be-
easy. People are flipping out. It's totally easy, Sean. Most of the drives come with their own heat sinks anyway. I thought it was weird when they like. I guess it was just like lawyer talk that they were being so specific. But I remember when I
Right.
read the tweet, I was like, why would they even say that?
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
asked, and Garrett was like, yeah, most of them come with it. And I was like, okay. Well, I guess
Roper
it's not,
says it is easy.
not
It is
that big of
easier.
a
It's
deal.
definitely easier than if anybody had to do anything like that on PS4. That
yeah,
sucked.
if you ever swapped your drive, I did.
That sucked.
Most
on
people
PS4.
don't, though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
true. Most people don't.
Yeah.
But I did, and it's super easy. And I actually think it'll be easier to do this than that.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
even on
This
that,
is
like
way
you,
easier.
yeah, you had this like the little screw with the cage
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Like, yeah, and you're not going to mess with any of that.
It was time consuming, and I did it wrong at least once when my PlayStation 4 going from 500 gigs to a terabyte.
Dude, I'm
Like,
so
I
nostalgic
loaded, like, the
for
wrong
this
firmware or
Jolt
whatever.
cola can. It looks like something from The
Yeah.
Simpsons. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yes, it totally does. It totally does.
It looks awesome.
Just I don't even know if it like because they kind of perfected it seems like the energy like Red Bull just like crammed with all this other stuff. I don't even know what was in Jolt Cola. Like I don't think there was like
I think it
taurine
was just
and all
like
this other
8.
stuff.
I know it was just
I
like
think
8
it's just
cups
sugar.
of sugar. Yeah. It's just like here's Lucky Charms in a can.
Kool-Aid. That's how you do it.
I mean, I'm definitely excited for the SSD finally to come over to PS5, but
Yeah.
I'll wait until more games come out before I get one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
good at the moment.
Dev's yelling.
'Cause
Everybody's yelling at me. It's
I have-
two screws.
I have my external for all my PS4 stuff, and to be honest with you, that is like 90% of my library right now on PS5.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy for. I mean, it's only slightly less. Wait, it's slightly easier than doing it on your PC itself. Like PC is actually pretty easy to install those M2 drives.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm always surprised. Like this is the thing. Like I don't know that there's a lot of people with a lot of experience with these drives. You know, like anybody who's held one, that you guys know what you're getting into. But you know, if you've been on console this whole time, you're like, what even is this? And so I have a lot of people open up these boxes and go, like, this thing is tiny. Like,
I wonder how many people care.
It's shockingly small.
I know people I was on Twitter and stuff, like when the consoles were announced, like we all made the comparisons between the storage and stuff.
Nobody cares.
Like, I think most people just delete stuff.
Yeah,
like that's just the majority of people.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met anybody like me that has as many drives and stuff and as much stuff downloaded. Yeah. You know, everybody makes jokes about that in PSVG land. So like I've got to be in the super minority that wants all of my stuff downloaded.
Dev's laughing at me because he says it's the exact same process as a PC. That's what it's slightly less complicated than that because you got fewer like components in the way and stuff. Like, you just like turn that thing on its side.
You know, I do think it'd be really cool because the PlayStation 5 has a USB-C port on the front, and I'm positive they're using for virtual reality. It'd be cool though if they'd let you plug into it and like let you run an external SSD or something faster speeds.
I'd want it in the back.
Yeah, so would I. Mm-hmm. I'm just suggesting that it would be nice to be able to do that as well. And I'm sure you can plug it in, but it'll be formatted like an old one and not a new one. It'd be cool if you could plug it in and format it like a new one.
Right. Well, that was the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure the PS4 launched and you couldn't have an external drive with games playable off of it. Like, that came later. And then even later than that was they actually had a USB in the back that you could use. Like, I think you could have them stored on
Jeff. I know.
But you have to move it back and forth.
I was just suggesting that it would have been cool if it
it is.
was allowed.
There's one on the back.
So, like, on Series X.
Oh, interesting.
I think I've said this before. On Series X, I have an external SSD plugged in to the USB 3 in the back. It sees it as the Xbox like internal memory. Like I can put Series X enhanced games on it and play them off of it just like I can the little memory card. It doesn't really. There's no difference between the two. Mm-hmm. There's no performance difference when I play off of them. It's the same thing.
They confused the message, you know, and PlayStation and I think Xbox did this, especially at Xbox, like basically saying that you wouldn't get that at all. Oh, and it must have been.
I don't think it was confusing. I think they just didn't want you to. I think they wanted you to buy their memory card. I don't think it was. I think it was intentional.
Then that's misleading.
I think that's fair. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't confusing. I'm not exactly sure if it's like all of them. I haven't tested that far.
That's the thing.
But the majority of the games that I put over there that are X enhanced, they all are still X enhanced. Like they're all.
That kind of makes me a little pissy. I'm not gonna lie to you. If that's the case, like if it's.
I prove it to you. I sent you a screenshot.
That is all crazy.
Because I remember when it came out, they were like, if you want the X enhanced SSD version, you've got to put it on the internal of the memory card. It's just not true.
But it makes sense that like that's the case, and it's the same thing with PlayStation, like that you would need a drive that matches the speed. Like how else does it reconcile these differences?
I think the difference is that some games don't use all of that speed. I think that's the thing.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at with the confusion. Like it would almost be only us care about this sort of thing where we go like, let's have a table. Give me a table of the games that goes like, this is going to work on this time of drive. Like nobody's going to put that type of thing together. It's not
10 or 12 games that are sitting on my SSD, the external SSD through the USB port that are all X enhanced that I can play.
Yeah. And it just plays it.
Yeah. Just plays. No problems. Fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to know, like, what is it?
I'd have to boot it up to tell you which ones. How much do you not notice? Because I never notice.
Side by side.
That's the thing. So I usually install to my external SSD by default.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Because it's bigger. It's a 2 terabyte. Sure. So that's the thing. I honestly don't notice it until one doesn't. Like if I install something and it's like, it's not enhanced, then I'll go check it and I'll be like, why? And that has happened 2 or 3 times maybe in a year. It's barely happened. Mm-hmm. So like I barely even notice.
Mm-hmm. You still kind of swap back and wait. How many Xbox Series consoles do you still have? Like, 'cause you're going back and forth.
I just have the one.
Just the one now. Yeah.
We sold the S. Because Jack wasn't using it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when he was using it, wasn't he playing Fortnite on it?
That was the only thing he was doing on it. He was playing Fortnite. That's all he really does is play Fortnite. He's been getting back into Forza, and like all of a sudden, he's really into something I've never heard of. Tabs. Totally awesome battle simulator.
Dude, I was going to ask you because it says on Discord that's what you're
Jack.
playing. I'm like, what the hell is
He plays anything Game Pass. He plays under my account.
It's on Game Pass. Oh, okay.
I think it's on Game. It's got to be because I didn't buy it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what that is, but he's been playing that. He's strangely into that all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Is he into like computers at all? Like, does he tinker around with stuff like that? Like, I always think about
Yeah.
like when we were kids, we were messing around with the parents' computer all the time. We were like really breaking it down and stuff.
Nope.
I wonder about that with Lincoln. Like if I gave him a laptop at one point, like what kind of trouble is he going to get into?
I sold
you know?
him. I sold his Series S, and then I bought him the Gears of War 4 Xbox One S, the red
Right.
one,
Yeah, it's dope.
and it came with
Yeah.
an Elite controller too. So he has
Oh,
his own
yeah, that was
Elite
a reason to get
controller.
it.
Yeah, we got it for like $200, and
Such
it
a
came
good
with
price.
an Elite controller.
Right from day one, that was the best deal.
And it's got a doesn't it have a 2 terabyte hard drive in it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
that's a good buy.
I even asked him after a week. I was like, "Do you miss the S?" He's like, "I honestly don't." Like he's like, "I don't know the
Yeah.
difference," because he
Yeah.
plays Fortnite.
Well,
and
good.
stuff.
Good. That thing's awesome. I don't like the sounds that custom consoles make.
Oh,
I don't-
my wife
I'm not
hates it.
here for that.
When
Yeah,
he
it's not-
clicks the thing and it goes dur, 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 dur. Yeah, she hates it.
So I think it makes it almost.
I
like
love it.
I have to remember what this one does.
The
Gears five one, right?
Cyberpunk one is
Is it cool?
it's
Yeah.
great.
Says breathtaking.
Yeah, if
fire
you
it
ever
up
get
every
rid of
time.
that
Says
one,
you're
let me know.
breathtaking. This
I
one,
love that
the,
one
the
too.
Gears 5 one.
Yeah,
It
That
makes
one's- that one's
logical sense. Too.
gorgeous.
Like from a dollars and cents thing, like it makes sense because
yeah, but not from a cubby thing.
It's so good. Like what am I getting? Like there's nothing I could put.
What are you gonna
behind
put
me.
in
I remember.
there? Right.
I remember when
I have.
we went to.
I got my Gears stuff out. I got my Gears of War 3 edition. I've got my Phoenix statue. I've got my
Yeah.
controllers on stands. I got
Yeah.
my pops. They're all there, and I was like, I need a console. Just to stand there, but it's missing a console.
Yeah, that's a well. Tell Jack. Sorry, man. You have to get something playing.
Yeah,
Just
definitely
take it away
not
from
gonna
him.
do that. Maybe I'll put him on his Chromebook with Cloud. We haven't really
Yeah.
messed with it yet on it for him, but
What's that?
should probably to XCloud. I haven't really
I
even
see what
talked
you
to him
mean.
about it. Yeah.
What, Babbitt says that we're fake Xbox fans. Why is that? Why are we fake Xbox
What
fans?
did we admit to? Well, you know what? I'll own that. I can probably be called that. I know more about Fable than Halo.
Me.
That probably makes
Well,
me.
you know more about. Well, then we trade there.
I think that makes me. I think in
I haven't
Xbox
played
fans'
Fable at
minds,
all.
that makes me a fake Xbox fan. I know more about Fable than Halo.
I don't know. I think that's more. That's a deeper cut. I think Fable is a deeper cut than Halo. Everybody's played Halo
Oh, tabs.
because you don't know the tabs is on game preview. Oh
Yeah, I
God.
got nothing. Got nothing for
whatever.
you there.
I'm sure that we've mentioned it at one point, both of us on our shows, that this is a game that's coming to Game Pass at some
I don't think I
point.
have, but I like you. I like.
Does not
I like
ring a
where your
bell at
head's
all.
Yeah, I'm like. I
Not
got
even a
nothing.
little bit.
Yeah.
But you rattle off so many games that you kind of go, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Did you play the Ascent?
Not yet. I'm working my way through Last Stop.
Yeah.
I'm still playing Last Stop.
Yes,
I'm
I downloaded it.
I'm having too much fun. Like
Yeah.
I'm really kind of into it. It's not great. I don't want to oversell it. It's
Sure.
very basic. You do a lot
Yeah.
of walking and a lot of like just pressing dialogue options. But you know
Yeah.
what? Story's great. Like I'm really into the story. So I haven't played the Ascent because I want to finish this first.
I also want to get out of the hype bubble a little bit on Ascent because I saw a bunch of mixed stuff on it. So I'm gonna, I don't know. I almost feel like I should play it for the Xbox Drive, at least to be able to speak about it because it seems like that was the big get. You know,
I'm
it was
very
a big
excited.
deal.
I can't wait. But I'm gonna finish this I might finish it tonight. That's probably what I'll do after the show. Is I'll probably get back into
Ooh.
Last Stop and keep playing.
I like it. I mean,
really
those
fun.
games typically for me
really
are kind of like time and place, and I am feeling that kind of game right now.
It's
Like you
very
were mentioning
chill. Like
before,
you don't have to pay
Yep.
it. You know, like you can like have your laptop or your phone open, you know, while you're doing it. But like the story is real good. Like
Yeah.
I
Kind of
want to
okay for that
see
right
where
now.
it goes. Like I just finished chapter 3 of all of the vignettes, and in chapter
Yeah.
3, like can I spoiler warning? I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to talk vaguely about one of the story aspects, but one of the characters in the game, I won't even say who,
Mm-hmm.
is a game developer, and like you have to go to his work and be a game developer, and you got to talk to
Oh,
his
it's
boss,
cool.
and his boss is like, "Look, we really need you to crunch for the next 8 weeks,"
Oh,
and like
no
you have
way.
to talk like through the thing, and you can choose like, oh, you know, be a company man. You can be like, F that noise. And it's funny because he's
Yeah.
like, I need you to rally the team and show your passion and your commitment to this, you know, to this game and this project.
Yeah.
And like, I think at one point he's like,
That's awesome.
are we getting overtime? He's like, look, I'm going to cover all the pizzas you need. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It's just so real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So did
and
I.
that's the-
I was
Yeah.
playing. I was like, this damn Last Stop, I think, is a game that game developers, not just for that thing. I'm not just overselling for that because that's a very limited experience. But I do think that Last Stop is a game that game developers would really like.
I love that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I downloaded it for sure. I don't know what it was. Like, there's nothing really about it in the description or anything that like kind of caught my eye. But I guess I'm just kind of feeling like that type of game.
I'd be
That's
interested
everything
to
for
see
me.
what you think about the story. I mean, it's all going to come down to the story and how
Sure.
they weave together. But the story so far, I'm halfway through. I think the story's good. Like I want to
Yeah.
know where it's going, and it's like there are wide spreading branches. There's lots of things going in different directions.
Is it meant to be like replayed, like so you get different
I
paths
don't
and things
think
like that?
so. I honestly,
I mean, not that that's not a downer
honestly
for me at
think
all.
I think all of the decisions ultimately lead you. I think all of the decisions kind of come out the same way in the wash. It's just like
Yeah.
how far, how committed you are to them. I think
I'm
is the
totally
better way
fine with that.
Yeah.
And that's why I wasn't ever mad about Mass Effect. It's like I had a completely different experience through my 3 games than most other people, because I played Renegade
Sure.
is an easy way to kind of say that. And if it culminates down to this one of 3 kind of colors at the end, I didn't care about that at all because like I had so much fun the entire time.
Yeah.
And it seemed custom to me the whole time. It's like whatever, man. I don't need a game to have 40 different and if anything, it's like I don't even want a game to have 40 endings. That means I'm gonna miss out on all these endings.
Which
Like I'm not
ending
gonna
is the
see
good
all
one?
those. Right. Yeah,
or
like, that's
where does the next one pick off from if you're going to have something like that?
That's very, very tricky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I mean. Dragon Age does that as well. Like you have your decisions kind of carry over, but they're pretty dissimilar games. Like they're pretty disjointed. It's not like you have like the same. You're not. It's totally different protagonists.
Sure.
Like completely different. You're always starting over on that front. But there's still things that like kind of happen before that carry over.
Yeah.
I want more of that too. Well, yeah. I think I just kind of want to sit back and relax, and I went for a walk earlier, so I got my exercise in today after
Nice.
eating
coming,
everything yesterday.
Coming after Death's Door, like I was just like, I can give this in a couple of days.
Did you finish Death's Door?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you done?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Loved it.
I actually forgot that I have got that one a
Great.
while ago.
Great game.
Yeah, I beat the witch.
I
beat
heard
the
you
witch.
talking about I heard you talking on the Xbox Drive, and you mentioned that you wanted more direction and where to go next after you beat the
Yeah.
chapter. I understood exactly what you were saying, but I also wanted to be, in the drive with you in the car, because I wanted to tell
yeah.
you, like, go back to the crow and go ask, because they'll tell you. Like, if you
Yeah.
go back to the crow at the top of the mountain in the Lost Cemetery, it'll absolutely tell you where to go next. Because he's the one that told you to go to the witch in the
the
first
top?
place. You remember?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't remember where he is.
Well, that's the thing, but
a lot of times I'm so tired when I'm
that's
actually
the
playing games, like,
Metroidvania kind of aspect of this game. Is
Without
it's-
a map.
It's meant to send you back so you
That's great.
find
I
new
want a map,
discoveries
though.
and stuff like that. You don't need a map.
I need a map.
It's not that hard to remember.
That's
That's very basic maps. You don't need a map. There's like 4 directions. There's only 4 directions, and it takes you 5 minutes before you reach the end. It's not like Hollow Knight, where you can just
Sure.
get lost. You're not going to go that far.
I've gotten lost.
Nah.
I'm tired when I play these games.
Yeah,
man.
and I think you're just not trying that hard then.
Well, Bad Bit says he'd like a map as well.
Yeah, you try harder. It's not that far. Like there's no.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any need for a map in this game. I beat
don't
it.
think that
There's no need for a map.
You can just like think that you're going the right way, and then before you know it, you're just completely
Right,
lost.
but when you go
I'm like
into
a
the
child out there.
cemetery, if you think you're going the right way and it's the wrong way, you'll figure it out in like 4 minutes. You can't go that far. That's the thing. Without all of the items and everything, you don't have the
Yeah.
ability to go that far before you realize it's the wrong direction. So then,
I want to put like a timer on it. I want to tell you, like, I'll show you, like,
Go
how
in
much
a different
time I
direction.
can waste, just like going the wrong.
but
going
you
the wrong
remember
way.
where the crow is, right? He's in the castle.
No, I don't remember. That's the point. I don't know where that is.
Well,
I
then-
don't remember how to get there.
Well then, yeah, you pay more attention then. Well,
I didn't know that was the thing.
It
I
was
needed to
interesting
pay
because
attention
I
to.
understood exactly what you're saying. I think the first time that I
Right.
beat the witch, I was like, well, where do I go now? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't really even tell you to go back to the cemetery. Like, it just kind
That
of
makes sense.
dawned on
That's
me.
where I would go. I don't know.
So
where
I
to go.
get
I don't
you.
remember how to get there.
But after like doing that loop once, you realize like, okay, well, you can either always go back or you can just go in the next direction. Like,
Yeah,
once
so I'll get there.
Yeah, once I figured out, it's I don't think that's really a criticism of the game. I guess more or less, I think that's a very slight thing.
It's definitely the personal experience of like I wouldn't that's I kind of always get into this like what is to be said about that? Is that a criticism of like that's poor game design?
think-
Probably not.
I
But
think
did it impact
you
my
could
experience
say
with it?
that
Yes,
a
it
lot
did.
more about like a Metroid game. Like in Metroid, you can legit just go get lost.
Right.
Death's Door
Right.
doesn't really have that many paths for you to go.
I think that was Carry On. Carry On, I don't think had a map. Then Brian Turford and I were talking about a Metroidvania that didn't have a map, and I think it was that one.
Like there are
and that was
definitely
kind of a big
games where
deal.
you can just go get lost. Like Ori,
Yeah.
you can legit
just-
just get lost.
Mm-hmm,
I wouldn't. I don't.
It's just weird. Like,
I
why
don't
not
put
have it?
Death's
Like, every
Door in
game
that
has a map.
category because there's not that many places you can go. You can't reach that many places. So to be honest with you, if you just start walking around, you'll eventually find your way because you just can't. There's not that many places you can go.
But I guess the other side of it too, though, is like I want to scour. It's sort of like dungeon crawling, and I want to scour all of it. And I don't know if I have in some cases.
Yeah, but when you get more and more items, you can go back and you can. Like I definitely went back and did some.
Yeah.
I didn't do as much as Dev. Dev 100% of the game. I'm not doing that.
Well, and then how do you even know that that's what you did? Like without seeing, like there's a room over here, or there's a path that you didn't like cross over in this side, things like that. Like that's why I don't know that I would go back and 100% it. Otherwise, like I don't even know how I would go about doing that.
I went back to the areas that I knew there was stuff in. So like I knew, like you got through the witch, right?
Yeah.
So I knew
Yeah,
in the
that's where I'm
garden
at
there
on
was
that.
tons of things that I couldn't reach. I just knew it because I went through the garden. I saw them.
Right.
Like I saw
yeah.
stuff over there. I was like, there's something over there that I can't do right now. So when I
Totally.
got new stuff, I came back and I was like, well, can I do it now?
Yeah.
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 Just know that like
Yeah,
the,
I mean-
it's like the cemetery is your hub. It's not a level. So you've
Right.
got like the Hall of Doors, right? Like that's like your
Mm-hmm.
upgrade, but like the cemetery is your hub to the different areas.
That makes
So
sense.
whenever you
Yeah.
beat a boss, just go back to the cemetery, and if you really want to be pointed in the right direction, go talk to the crow, or just go figure it out. You'll figure it out. Like I only went back to the crow that first time after the witch, but then once I went back to the crow, I was like, okay, I get this. Like I'm going to use this item here to find my way to the next area. So like it's not that hard actually, because when you get the hook shot, go to the places where the damn hooks are, and you'll find your way. You know, like there are hooks over
I
there
don't
for
even
a
think I knew
reason.
there was a hook shot in this game. Hook shot, that dude.
I'm sorry if I
put that on
spoiled
the-
that for you.
It's not a spoiler because it's like I was gonna say like put that on the damn cover.
You
of
saw
the game.
like you've
Not a
seen
hook
you're
shot.
through the witch, right? You've seen like these anchors, like these circle, like you use a hook shot.
Makes
to it.
sense.
Yeah, I knew there was something. I was like, there's going to be a chain or a rope or something. You know, like once you get there, like then once you get that item, start going to the places that you've seen that have those hooks, and you'll find your way.
And that's such a satisfying thing that these games do. Like when you're like, oh,
it's
I'd
very
love to
Zelda
get back
in that
over
way.
there.
It's Zelda
Of
in that
course.
way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, do you like Zelda games? And like, go this direction and go exactly here, or do you like Breath of the Wild?
all
where
those
it's
things
like,
are great.
go figure it out. Because I like the Breath of the Wild. Go figure it out way more. I'd
They
much
both
prefer
have a
like
map.
Link Between Worlds. Like, go figure it out.
I just get no matter what the game is, whether it's like an over the isometric kind of view like this or first person, whatever. Like I get disoriented pretty easily in games. Oddly enough, in like real life, I'm pretty good. I can actually sort myself out.
Oh, it's
pretty good,
interesting.
but I don't know what that is. It's maybe my brain isn't.
Because I do
quite
feel like all
fully
of
activated.
the areas are really like designed differently. They all have like their own different biomes, and like even in the Lost Cemetery, like I said, they're really gated. They're gated off by the items you have.
Yeah.
So like, that's what I really mean. Like you really can't go. Like you have guardrails. You can't go off the path. The game stops you from doing it. If anything, that's like really good design because it pushes you to the right direction without giving you a map.
And that's the thing. Like I would never go out to say the game has bad design.
I know.
Like that's
I know.
far from.
I know.
Yeah. But it's really really. Good.
I wanted to be in
really
the car. I was listening to the podcast, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
You gotta do this. Yeah.
I actually haven't heard anybody say that actually in response to that. So glad we can kind of catch up on it.
I don't know how many people are playing it.
I think it seems like everybody's
I
playing
mean, like
it.
all
You know, you
the
go on Twitter and
influencers
everybody's
did
playing
for
it.
sure. Like all the blogs and everything did. Like
Yeah, it's not on Game Pass.
It
so,
definitely got
yeah.
that day one hype, review
Oh,
push.
yeah.
But like of our friends that are playing it, I honestly, I know you and me and Dev. I honestly don't know
that's a good
anybody else
point.
that's playing it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. This game has bad design, says the Xbox Drive. That's the quote. Yeah. It's bad, but Dev was
It's really
yelling
good
at me
though.
as well.
Game
Yeah,
of the
I'm
year
sure.
for me so far.
Yeah. Basically, if I ever have like trouble with a game, and this could probably be said with anybody, like if you struggle with the game in any way, shape, or form, somebody's going to be saying something, like
Sure.
get good or whatever, like whatever version of that there is,
Yeah.
And I used to really worry about that, like back in the day, like just for even in my writing days, like thinking about talking about like the difficulty.
I'm not good
of the
enough to
game,
worry about it because
or
I
understanding of it.
suck at most games. So I'm like, I'm just not going to.
Yeah, well, and that's where I've ended up. Like younger me would be just totally destroyed that like some people might take umbrance or say
It
like,
really
"Wow, how
bothered
can
me.
I not get it?"
I don't know
know?
if you want to go here, so if you don't, we can just get out of here real quick. But it really bothered me like a couple weeks ago when Colin was taking shots at that person for saying they reviewed the game on easy, some game on easy.
Oh,
It really kind of
we
pissed
can go
me
here.
off.
This is
That
a
really
tricky
bothered me.
conversation.
I was like, come on, Colin. Colin is
I
getting
think-
to a place, and I don't mean to give judgments. You know, I've talked to Colin quite a bit, and this is nothing that I wouldn't tell Colin, you know, to his face if he was here. But
Yeah.
Colin seems to be in a place where he takes a lot of shots at like snarky games journalism, but he also does a lot of snarky like opinions, like on like and that kind of bothers me. Like when I get the twofold. I'm like, you come here and you talk about journalism's being trite and they're being snarky and they're, you know, like he'll take shots at Kotaku for you know, for their grabby headlines. And it's like, but
Yeah.
aren't you doing the same thing when you come to your Twitter and you take shots at IGN and you take shots at game difficulty, take shots at all these other things? Like you're kind of doing
Yeah.
the same thing. You're both being snarky for effect. Like that's what you're trying to do.
Wrongs
Like you're
don't
trying.
make a right, guys.
Well, it's not even right or wrong. It's like, but you know, like I have no problem. It obviously, here's the thing. I'm almost somewhat on the fence here, right? Because when you do that, when you have like that hot take, you do it for a reason because it solicits a response, and that's actually successful. We see that on
Yeah.
social media that makes you
Yeah,
successful.
tons. Yeah.
But like, don't do it to be successful and then throw stones at other people who also do it to be successful. That's the part that kind of bothers me.
I think I'm gonna keep my comments to the difficulty thing.
Okay,
On
well,
whether
sure.
so, cause, yeah. Should anybody like target somebody else? Probably not. But it was also like having an opinion in direct response to a thing. Like it's kind of hard to do that, right? Like even from what I'm about to say, it will be in direct response to what this person said, which is, I think the easiest way to get around all of this nastiness is just like, if you play on easy and you're going to review a game, then that should be one of the first things that you say in your review.
Yeah, just say so.
Just say so. And did you finish it or not?
Well, didn't
Like,
the
then you
reviewer
get
do
the-
that?
And I think that's what. So I think that the issue that came up with it was like it was stated almost like proudly, I will never play on easy and I never will, and that's how I review games. And it's just kind of like I don't think that that's a great statement to make. Period.
Yeah, but he
Like, I don't think that
called for
sounds
like
awesome to
people
me.
like that to leave the industry as if like their opinion is invalid or isn't merit, like there doesn't
Sure.
deserve thing, which stuns me because he was also one of the people that's claiming like these journalism sites don't need to exist because of YouTube and Patreon and all these like, and that's the thing. There is so much pie here for every outlet to find. Like anybody
And that's-
can review anything. Like there's no opinion that's deserving of critical review. Like you can't be, oh, well, this opinion deserves to be published because they're good and your opinion doesn't. It's like, have you met the world of YouTube? Everybody's opinion, anybody with a webcam can publish a review. It doesn't
I agree.
matter.
And that's kind of like that's the corner that I want to turn here is like if I saw somebody like for me, I don't want to read a review from somebody who's never going to play it on anything but easy. Like that's just not how, because that's not how I play games. So it's impossible for me to get a perspective from somebody who isn't playing even on the same difficulty as me. So that's fine. But I wouldn't go so far to say that opinion shouldn't be published anywhere. It's just I won't be paying any attention to that opinion.
Right. And that's totally fine. Like you can not pay attention, just like, and that's was my thing. I was like, dude, like the people that want to play like the super hard game and the hardest thing and they want to hear an opinion about, like that outlet and that review is there. And likewise, there's people on the opposite side of that spectrum.
Totally.
That they're like, I don't have time, or I don't want to struggle, and I don't want any
the
of
nastiness.
this.
The
You can do
nastiness
that
is that
too.
both sides can't coexist. They both think that like one is like at the behest of the other.
Of
like
course.
like if everybody's doing all these easy reviews or playing games on easy and doing the review on it, then somebody else going like, well, like it comes from a place of insecurity. They're like that's going to take over, and the thing that you like is going to go away. And like that's not necessarily the case. It seems like that's what
Yeah, I can't imagine anything going away in this business. Like you're like,
And that's the thing. Once you realize that, you're free.
in the
from pretty much
realization that
everything.
like there'll never be anything that goes away. If anything, there's too much. There's an oversaturation. Like nothing will truly go away.
Well, I mean, and for him, man, I don't even know if I should. I don't even know if I should speak.
Like I
on
said,
behalf
I didn't
of him,
even
but
want to
it does
go
seem
this
like-
far. Like if you want to just get out of it, we can just move on.
No,
to
and
something
I just think like I can imagine for somebody who has been like for this seems like an industry that has a pretty common voice, right?
Yeah.
So and he becomes a smaller kind of like, or it does like nobody's speaking along with him
Sure.
on so many things
Yeah.
that can maybe put you in an uncomfortable position that you see like this entire industry that you're very passionate about say none of us are going to be like playing games on normal, and that doesn't, and if that's not something that you agree with, then you're like, what happened to the thing that I loved? You know, it's the old man going like, back in my day, like it used to be good, like it needs to be better when I was younger. I can understand why that would put you in a
I agree
spot.
with you, and I don't think this is what I'm about to say is the same thing, but Colin has also had a lot of people say things a lot about him, and to the effect of like he needs to leave the industry, and he doesn't like that either.
Of
like
course.
I know he doesn't, because I'm a supporter of his and I've listened to him for many years. He doesn't like that, and he takes like he solicits sympathy from his own base about that. Like these people want me gone, you know, and it's like, but here you are telling somebody else to leave. Like it's
the thing for me. It's like, you know, I think that there's value in having standards. I think that there is something to be said about that. That like, you know, that there should be almost like a journalistic quality, like you putting in the homework, you doing your stuff. Like I think those types of things are important. Like and I think agree on.
I think that's an admirable effect if you're looking at like real journalism, like real controversial Politico journalism.
Sure,
yes, do the video games.
Well, and that's so okay. So I mean, there's different versions of this, right? What's an easier way of doing this show? I call you up on my phone and like it sounds like crap. Like there's easier ways for us to do all sorts of different things. But we rise to a certain standard because we think that it like puts out a better product. And I don't know if that necessarily translates exactly over to difficulty, you know, but I think that there is something to be said about holding yourself to a like just working hard. You know, like that to actually like pushing through something. I think there's something to be said about putting yourself in an uncomfortable position to get through another side, and you'll be better for it. Or maybe the thing that you're creating will be.
Or what if you can't?
Better for it. What do you mean? What if you can't?
Like, what if you do? Like, what if? Like, I can't beat Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Well, and I think that should like, and then that's the other thing about it. Like, what if that's part of your review? Like, I played it on normal and I can't beat it.
That's fair.
Like,
well, I'm never arguing. I'm not arguing because here's the thing. I don't care. You do both. I agree with you. I think you should offer it up. But I disagree in the sense that I don't hold my reviewers to anything. Like, I don't care if they played it. If anything, I hear so many times they're like, I had to play this game 40 hours without sleep because I just got it 48 hours ago and they just gave me the code. It's like, then play it on easy. like if it makes it faster.
So that's it. That's a whole other thing that I think is really interesting about it, and this is where Colin comes in because he doesn't put out a review on the embargo date.
That's because he doesn't get games early anymore. That's not a personal choice. That
is a choice.
He doesn't have an option.
He can get games early.
Not all of them. He said Sony will not send him games anymore. So most of the games that he reviews, he doesn't review every game. Most of the games that he does review, like in full thing, are big third-party releases or Sony first-party games. He doesn't get Sony first-party games anymore. So I don't like saying that it's a conscious thing to hold a review because it's not conscious. Because when he was getting Sony first-party things, he had reviews out early. He stopped because he doesn't get the game anymore.
What I'm focused on is the result of it, and he seems to be okay without having a game review.
Yes, no, I like that. I've always liked that. I
think that's very interesting to explore that a little bit because the argument that a game review has to go out the moment that the embargo says that it is means that people are basically just playing along with the marketing.
I'm on Team Bethesda on this one. I actually wish all reviews would be held. But we've talked about, you and I have had this argument before because you think there's there's definitely value to having stuff out there for the consumer and thing, and I just don't think it matters. I think
reviews in general.
It'll work its way out in the wash one way or the other. Like I'm all for like just put the code up and let everybody go. If anything, that levelizes
when they were ready for everybody. Reviews are not going up when they're actually ready. That's my kind of problem with it all. Like the comment to say like I need to get this review done in 40 hours.
We get lots of reviews in progress.
That sucks. I think you just play it when you're done.
Yeah.
And get the review up when you're done playing the game for real.
Yeah.
Like so I think it's really important for me to like kind of clarify that because it provides the whole context in terms of my view on should people be playing on easy in order to get the review done in time. It's like, well, no. I don't think so at all. And I'm kind of coming around to that point even on the Xbox Drive too, where I've got enough games just come to Game Pass. Like Ascent, people were playing Ascent early. We didn't have it early, and we won't have it on day one. Flight Simulator, we were playing alongside everybody else. You know, and I think that there's something to be said about that. Like we're not rushing to finish games.
Yeah.
Now, part of it is like Scarlet Nexus is an example because we asked for the game, we didn't get it, and I went on a journey on that, and I kind of talked about that on a recent episode to tell people like I can only tell you as much as I've experienced so far, and in some cases the first 5 hours are going to blow me away, the next 10 hours are going to suck ass, and then the ending might actually be pretty good. Sure. And I'm just gonna that's like getting to that point has basically taken me like these 5 years of doing this to become, and I continue to find like even more comfort in like where I'm going to end up on that. Like I still might even be on a journey of that front. Maybe 6 months from now I might go, you know what? I really should have games done and completed before I actually talk about them. But where I'm at right now is I will discuss them as I'm like where I'm at in the game.
I've been there for a while.
Death's Door as well.
I think it's a good place to be. And I got rid of, here's the thing. I'm in full carte blanche in minutes. I don't read reviews, so I don't care. I really don't care. I don't like to see people lash out at people like that.
I agree. We can definitely agree.
And it's just like, but dude, like you hate it when people lash out at you. Like, don't do the thing that you don't like people do to you. Mm-hmm. You know, that's true. I lose a lot of respect in that case when people seem to be talking on both sides of their mouth. You know that about me. Like I very much value like holding myself to my own opinion. And if I'm going to switch sides, I'm going to tell you why. Like, I want you to understand it. And I don't like that. It's like you're kind of having your cake and you're eating it too. And it bothers me. Like, that definitely bothered me. I don't hold my reviewers to really any standards. My standards for review are like, do I think you're being honest? Like, am I interested in your opinion?
Right.
When it comes to reviews, I don't check them anymore. And if I do, it's typically for a reason. I'm specifically looking for an answer to a question. Did the game
I don't think that
fix
I read
this?
Reviews. I hear them.
Or did a game... You know, did they fix this? Is this improved? Or, you know, like, is it something like I'm honestly looking to find an answer. It's the only time I read reviews. I don't care if my reviewers beat Dark Souls on easy or super hard. I don't care as long as they disclose it. It doesn't matter to me because here's the thing. If I'm reading reviews, chances are I'm going to look for both. Chances are I'm going to cross the gambit. Because for me, when I look at reviews, it's about information gathering. I want different opinions. You know, I'm going to start at the top of the scale and I'm going to look at the bottom of the scale, like, and then compare and be like, where do I think I fit in here? I'm not one of those people. It's like, I play games on hard, so I only want to hear other people that play games on hard talk about games. Like, my mind is so much more open to anybody's opinion. I want to hear anybody's opinion. Like, was this game, like, could you beat it? I couldn't. Yeah. Like, you know, like, I want to kind of hear everything. And I don't know. I do think that might come from me. Or, you know, I want to say we, but obviously I feel like we're differing here a little bit. Like this indie podcast space that we've been in, like with I say real regular people, but you know what I mean? Like people that don't get paid to professionally play video games for a living. You know, like I want to hear somebody like where they're choosing to spend their time and money and what they think is valuable to them. That's the opinion that I care about. I don't care if they played it on easy or not. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I don't have a complete aversion to people playing games on easy. I just think that it's a weird claim to make. I'm never going to play a game on normal.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Weird. That just seems weird to me.
Because some games don't even give you that option.
Right. And especially like the whole, you know me, like this is why I like podcasting. You can't make blanket statements like that. Yeah. And some blanket statements were people saying like the difficulty has no impact on like the game experience. It's like, well,
for some
talk
people,
to me about GoldenEye. It has is as far back as I can remember. No, but in terms of like what the game actually is, right? So in some cases, it actually changes like what you do in the game. I'm gonna go all the way back to like GoldenEye 64.
Sure.
Easy mode, totally different. Like you're doing different things, you know, and there's examples of that throughout games. So many times, probably not. Maybe the difficulty doesn't have an impact in like the game experience itself. But like if I were to play like Scarlet Nexus, for example, on easy, I'm not gonna have to like worry about any systems at all. I'm just gonna like float through that game and I'm gonna miss a lot of the intricacies that I think are interesting about that game that I might not even want to discuss. So I think that's just like that's why I don't like any blanket statements, period, especially something like that, because I think you will miss out on certain things. And when I'm looking for opinions from reviewers, I am looking for people who go like that's why I like Ryan Turford so much. Like he digs in, like he understands like how these games work and like all the interesting.
I think that's why people like. I think that's why people like it when I review a golf game. I think that's why people come to me to review a golf game.
Exactly.
It's because I'm going to put in that extra, you know, that extra rub. I'm not going to be like, I play golf and it was fun. It's like that. Don't come to me for that opinion. because I'm
Right.
going to dig in real hard on a golf game. I have high expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that kind of speaks. Yeah, that definitely.
But my
speaks to
thing is,
kind of what I'm saying.
like in the review, and like not even in the media world that we're in, is all of those things are going to be there no matter what.
Sure.
So why would you take shots at somebody that just doesn't do it your way? And not that you are, for sure. Like I'm still going back to that original tweet. It's like, why does anybody take shots for doing something, the way that you don't do it? Because it's like the world is an oyster. Everybody's doing whatever they want. It's the Wild Wild West out there. So
it's a tunnel vision.
I'm with
looking
you.
at that and thinking
Why-
it's representative of everything.
why go and declare, like, why dig in so hard on a stance like that? But at the same time,
Yeah.
why call anybody out for like it? I guess maybe it's too easy to be like, well, if that doesn't matter to you, then just move on. Like,
Yeah.
swipe right, click to the next tab, like scroll up, like just keep it moving.
I think it just seemed like it was sort of like jumping on this, like it's how much of it is like 100% genuine and how much of it is like just trying to jump on the, like this movement of like accept gamers who play on easy. And that's the other thing I probably should mention here too. If gamers just play,
That
like,
could be a-
everybody should just play however the hell anybody wants.
Of course, but I was going to say, like, that could be its own podcast, like its own YouTube channel. It's like
Oh yeah.
the Easy Difficulty Gamers podcast,
Totally,
where we play
totally.
everything on easy and we talk about it because for any reasons that we want to suggest you play that way, like that's totally a thing. Well, they used to
Yep.
call it, it was like the Uncharted, they call it like dad mode or something. God of War, right? Play
Yeah.
God of War on dad mode, play on easy.
Yeah.
That
I'm
was
sure
like
at
a
one
thing.
point.
Yeah.
Wasn't it who was it that said something about like even like your girlfriend could play
God,
this
could you
game or something
imagine if
like
they
that?
called
Was
it
that-
like girlfriend difficulty or something?
I think there was like a girlfriend mode.
Are you
something. Like, I think
serious?
that was a thing like that.
And I bet
think
you
it
that
was-
got
honestly,
all kinds of hate.
I don't even want to say.
But
what
if they
I think it
do
was,
dad
'cause
mode, like it's totally acceptable. But yeah,
yeah, because we're getting slower. We don't, and I get tired when I play
That's so
games and I
funny.
don't know where to go in Death's
I
Door.
will tell
Like,
you, Death's Door Death's Door did push me a little bit.
Yeah.
Once I swapped controllers, there's definitely, so when I first started talking about the game, I thought it was hard. And I kept telling everybody it was hard. It was something, my Xbox green controller has drift on the left stick. Once I swapped controllers, much easier. I was
that was
great
Tony Hawk for me. Yeah.
until the end. When I got
Oh,
to the
no.
end, it definitely pushed me for a little bit. I
Yeah.
died 8 or 9 times, and I was like, if I die 2 more times, like I'm quitting.
If I die 13 or 14 more
Right.
times, I'm
you
through with
do
this.
that, right? You die 5 times, you're like, if I die 7 times, you die 7 times. If I die 9 times, like I was definitely there. I was like, man, if they get me again, I'm just gonna stop.
Seriously.
But I got through. I got through. It did take me a minute to where I was 100% like I was saying on the Xbox Empire. I was like speaking the pattern out loud. Like as I was playing, I was like, all right, here
I've been
comes
there
the
with
boss
games.
is going to drop. So you roll over here. Here comes the laser. So run in a figure 8. He's going to take 2 swipes. After the second swipe, throw your
Right.
fireball. Now hit. Get back out. Let's do it again. Like I was in that space on the final boss. But I appreciated without spoiling it, I appreciate it was as forgiving as it could be. And I think if you reach the end, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because it could have been way harder. Way harder. They could have really held your feet to the fire. And if they did, I would have quit. I would have
That's
definitely quit.
Hyperdot.
I would have
Hyperdot,
quit.
They
I
did
would-
make it as hard as they possibly could. and I hadn't
Absolutely
beaten it.
not. I'm not doing this, Acid Nerve. But they did it. You get to the boss, they give you your health, you get a checkpoint, and I'm like, thank God. Because if they didn't, I would have quit.
Yeah. Why? So I gotta get to. How is there more than just the 3? Like there's the witch, the frog dude, or something like. There's 3 things that they kind of say at the start.
There's-
I think
there's
I've
one
seen.
more.
There's actually more. Yeah.
There's
yeah,
one
that makes
more,
sense.
and then you get to the final.
Big bad. Okay.
And it's awesome though. It's worth it. It's really cool.
I gotta get
that
back
one
to it,
more
man.
is really cool. Like that's probably my favorite part of the game.
I feel like I disappoint you when I say
It's
things
pretty
like
easy
I'm
too. but
really.
I love
yeah.
the way it looked. It looked awesome. I was like, this game is great.
Yeah, every once in a while it just has like this castle thing that's attacking. It's like, oh, this is great. And
I took a lot of
everything-
screenshots. I didn't share them because I
Yeah.
realized that people would say spoilers. But that's every time I
Oh,
know that I'm
interesting.
really into something is when I just start spamming screenshot button. Like,
That's what I was
screenshot,
gonna say.
screenshot,
And
screenshot.
I feel like I disappoint you by saying this, but like Skyward Sword, I've got so many screenshots.
Dev, I
of
know
this
there's 2
game,
more.
man.
Remember, I said there's one more before you
And
get
then
to
the
the
big
final.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skyward Sword, I'm in it, man. I'm really liking it.
Yeah?
I got my hook shot or claw shot or whatever the hell they call it in this game. And it's
I stopped.
I'm happy with it.
I'm stopped.
Yeah, I know you did.
I don't like the
know.
combat.
I feel like I need to like almost like
like the
apologize or something,
combat.
like address it. Yeah. I just actually it's funny. I was thinking about that as I ran by a whole bunch of enemies last time. I'm like, I'm just gonna skip this all together.
That's what I did a
because
lot.
can.
Yeah, that's what you end up doing
Yeah.
is you just like, it's not worth it. It's not fun.
Yeah, but
It should
everything
be
else
fun.
is fun for me. Yeah.
Right? Like
The
it should
sky
be
is
fun.
one of my biggest things about it. I think the sky is boring as hell, and it still is.
Yeah.
It's
I
wide
remember
open.
you
There's
saying that
nothing
the
to
first
do.
time.
Yeah, it's that was one of my biggest.
So you've come full
biggest
circle on
problems
this. You were making fun
I'm
of
enjoying it.
Skyward Sword was announced. Now you
Yep.
got it and you love it.
Well, and this is the thing. I'm 25 hours in.
Are you playing on easy or hard? I think it's important. You have to disclose it.
I'm playing on the hardest possible difficulty,
It just says souls.
which also happens to be the
medium.
easiest
It's
possible difficulty.
easy, medium, hard, and then souls. It
Yeah,
just,
well, I don't think there is a difficulty, isn't there? So
I have no- I'd
I'm
probably
playing on
not.
both the
Probably
hardest
not.
and easiest difficulty.
I would love it though if they were more descriptive. It's like
Yeah.
baby mode, how the game
Yeah.
was meant to be played, kick you in the teeth.
Yeah. Well, that like Doom and Wolfenstein back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah,
hurt me
Doom.
plenty. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, dude,
Doom
that was
does
like
that great.
it was like you knew you were getting into a game like you were with Doom and Wolfenstein just by that. Like the difficulty was like a day, or even
Yeah.
as you like lost health, your face would be all like beat up and stuff.
Make
got
your
black
hands
eyes and
sore.
stuff.
Like that doesn't even sound good.
Wait, is this a Leisure Suit Larry game? What the heck is this? So yeah, Zelda almost done. I think
So I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild. So that's the thing is I'm playing Skyward. I'm like I'm just gonna go back and play Breath of the Wild. It's just much better.
I feel like maybe I should. I think I'm so disjointed
We
from
could do it together.
Breath of the Wild that maybe
Sweet
I don't
hangs, Breath of the Wild.
appreciate it much. Yeah. But Monster Hunter Stories is after that. I've got to finish that. I've got to get my this is a weird thing to say. I got to get my money's worth. I paid $80 for these games. Monster Hunter Stories is going to be half price in about 2 weeks, man. I'm going to feel real bad about that.
See, I
pretty
never
soon.
do. I don't do that. Like if I'm
Normally
just,
I don't.
I'm
I
just
don't know
out.
if I'm really
I
I'm
care less
kinda-
about the investment. I'm like I'm just out.
Yeah. Interested. I mean, you just have to own it.
But you were
made
at
the
least
choice.
enjoying it. Like you're not like I've got to play this thing I'm not enjoying because
Not
I
even a
spent
little bit.
money on it.
The thing is, like, if the game starts to stump me a little bit, which it hasn't yet, then I will be frustrated. Like my enjoyment, I think, is really linked to the fact, part of the pun,
You're being
that
successful.
I'm doing okay with it. Yeah, I kind of generally know like what to do, and I remember enough from the last time of doing these things. So like when I do like these trials where I've got the spirit vessel, I got to find all the things that are hidden, or the guardians will come find me. That like I'm not having too much trouble with that. So it's I think that's part of it. Maybe I'm reviewing the game as super positive because it's really easy, Donnie.
Okay.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I thought it was boring. Maybe it was because it was so easy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was bored when I was playing it. I almost fell asleep.
And maybe that's
So it's
exactly what I want.
and
right
I was
now.
like, I'm not
It's just
gonna play this.
Something not to push back on me a little bit.
I'm not
just
going to
it
pay money
doesn't-
for this. I'm bored.
Yeah. Although, like, I'm enjoying Death's Door, so I shouldn't even say that. I've got a nice balance of a game that's pushing me a little bit, and
That's
I've got
okay, though.
Zelda.
Quote, I'm good at this game. I like it.
I like. And we need more shirts. I think I want that to be my.
That's
next
real
shirt.
good. I like
I need
it.
a merch. I need a shirt. I'm good at this game. I like it.
Because you were saying that about Skyward Sword, too. You were like, I'm smart. I'm getting all these puddles.
I am.
Yeah, and it's like, but
Figured
puzzles
it
are
out.
real easy, though.
It's like, oh, this frog mouth thing. is
Puzzles in
thirsty.
Breath
I
of the
gotta-
Wild, Sean, are way better.
Yeah, I mean the shrines and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're way
actually-
better. They're super
yeah,
fun.
They really are.
Some
Yeah,
of them really
yeah,
are.
Yeah.
You remember the one that like was two? Like you had to go to the one and remember the pattern and go to the other
Oh,
one and
yeah.
do the thing and then do it in back and reverse?
Yeah.
That was like ingenious, actually. I was like,
Yeah.
why haven't we done this more often? Why does this feel so novel?
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing games for 50 years. It's figured more people would have done this by now.
Takes a while for it to. Remember when people saw Genshin Impact for the first time and thought that was a Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
clone?
that was me.
Yeah,
I was like,
Bobby
oh
as
my
well.
God, I'm so excited. It's a Breath of the Wild clone. Give me all the Breath of the Wild clones. And then it comes out and they were like, it's not
super
that at all. It's an RPG. And I was like, I'm never going to play it.
Yeah, I still want to try. I want to try it out.
I've been saying
some
that for a
point.
year and a half.
The other fact about Skyward Sword that I'm liking is that I'm almost done. That is also that's it also a
You
huge
get the
factor.
glimpse of the end. Like it's in your,
And it's not
you're
nearly
like,
as long as I
yeah,
remember
I'm
it.
going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like 30, 40
hours.
hours.
Well, exactly. Dude, this is again, maybe I was just a real dum-dum, or maybe I messed up my game clock. I could have sworn when I played it on Wii, the game clock said something like in 70 hours
Oh, God.
for
no.
that game.
No, no.
And maybe I was also scouring through, like I was doing all the little like side quests. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Huge complaint on this one.
There's
the
lots of
pumpkin,
fetch
like,
quests.
You're balancing the pumpkins and stuff. That sucks ass.
There's lots
That's
of fetch
terrible.
quests. This Skyward Sword might have like the worst side stories of all the Zeldas.
Yeah,
They're, like,
yeah,
'cause
I'm
they're
not
just
doing.
really,
I'm not doing most of them.
They're just really inconsequential. They just don't matter. Like they're just padding. That's all they are.
I dropped this thing through the clouds and it's gone forever. Okay, better go find that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it has to be beatable, like in terms of length and also difficulty. For me, it's just kind of, I don't know. A lot of things have to line up. This is why you eventually just get to the point that like numbers on reviews are kind of dumb, because so much of it depends on like what kind of energy you have, what game are you in the mood for.
Sure.
You know, all these things matter. So I don't know. I definitely want to get that shirt though. I'm good at this game. I like it.
So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good shirt. It's really
write
funny.
that down. Not even a score at the end too. Just I like it. Sean Capri. Nice.
Great box quote. I like it. I like this game.
Speaking of, I was gonna ask you because I haven't watched a movie in a little while. I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna put you on the spot or anything.
Uh-oh.
Like making a recommendation. I'm like, what's something I should be? What's something? Oh, something's coming out on HBO. What the heck did I just watch? I watched a trailer for it. Oh, Suicide Squad. Apparently, he's getting good reviews. The new Suicide Squad. Apparently, I didn't even know it was this close to be. Yeah, James Gunn like did it again. Like they just redid it.
A new one?
I guess.
Oh yeah,
They
I don't
did
know.
It, they had a duo.
I'm not the go-to for the superhero comic things. I've almost quit on like after Endgame and like I'm done.
Seemed like that was probably the end of it.
Yeah, like I don't like they're doing all the
Probably
TV shows.
good
It's
or
like I don't have time for this anymore.
I haven't watched
guys.
any of that stuff.
So
Yeah.
much.
I don't know. It wasn't actually that I was thinking about you and Suicide Squad. I was just before we jumped on here, I was on IGN and a trailer came up for that. I was like, oh, son of a gun. So for whatever reason, I connected movies to what I was just saying to you, which is recommend me a movie. But yeah, not related to.
The most recent movie that I watched in terms of like recent release was probably Quiet Place 2, which was excellent.
Yes, good call. Good
Really
call.
liked it. Really liked it.
Yep. That will
Good
do.
2 hits for me. And
that'll do, Donnie.
Host just had its 1-year anniversary. If you've never watched it, you should.
What is it?
It's called Host.
Host.
It's on Shudder.
Okay.
It's a Shudder original. You can sign up
Okay.
for a Shudder account for free. You can probably get a free trial on Amazon. They always have free trials on the website. It's worth signing up for. It was Decade of Horror's best horror movie last year.
Yeah.
Of all the movies, it was Host. And it's, you'll like this, Sean, it's a very tight 55-minute watch.
I like that a lot. That is
excellent.
tight. Holy crap.
Excellent movie.
That's very.
I
That's a
watched
strange
it.
length.
I had it on the stream. I watched it, and I immediately bought the DVD. I was like, got it
Yeah.
on the shelf for it.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a
down for
really
that.
scary something, put The Dark and the Wicked on your list.
The Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite movie of this year. Scary movies wise. I have been watching. I just finished Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah.
I've just been watching like a bunch of old movies for
Mm-hmm.
when I've just been on a kick. I've just been wanting to rewatch favorites. You remember I said I wanted like something new. Well,
Yeah.
we're not getting anything new, so I just decided to watch all the great things that came out before. I was like, well, I'll just
You have
watch
that?
a bunch of
Like,
old
do you have
stuff.
that movie, or did you watch it? Did you stream it? Or
No,
something?
yeah, I've got them. I have most Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
I have like a little Tarantino section in my bag.
I don't have my movies in like a way that I can like just like comb through them.
I have-
I have them stored. They're it's nice and neat, but it's not like the old days you had them on the shelf. and
Sure.
You could just see them like all the spines.
I have a horror movie shelf where all my horror movies
Yeah.
are there that I can quickly
Yeah.
go through. And then
Yeah.
I have a tub that all of my TV seasons are in, and then I have another tub where my movies are in. And I
Yeah.
don't have very many non-horror movies, so it's very easy for me to go through. Like if it's not a horror movie,
Right.
I gotta love the movie to buy it.
Right.
So it's a
Yeah.
lot of Tarantino, big blockbuster action stuff. It's a lot of stuff like that. Tombstone, Casino,
Tombstone I haven't seen
mob
forever.
movies, Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco, stuff like that.
It's a Fugazi.
I don't have like just I don't have like a bunch of like ho hum movies. Like if I have a movie, I love
Sure.
the movie.
I have a lot of those. Like we would go to the Best Buys and whatnot and just like buy movies or the Blockbusters. Especially when
in high
these were
school
closing out.
In high school, I worked at a Domino's, and next to the Domino's was a Blockbuster, and we got an employee's discount because we would give them an employee's discount of food. They give us employees discount on movies. And Melissa, when we were watching the last Blockbuster, my wife, she was like, I miss that so much because our high school routine when we were dating was she would come, I'd be working at Domino's, and I'd get off. And I would walk down the Blockbuster, and we'd walk through and just pick up 5 movies, and then
That's
just go
the
home and
best.
watch.
Oh
And we did it.
man,
we did
there's
it
nothing like that.
every weekend for like 3
Yeah.
years. So she was the last Blockbuster documentary. She really she was feeling real nostalgic about that. She was like, I miss doing that. And I even tried to argue with her. I was like, we do the same thing. Like, we pop up Netflix and we scroll through. She's like, it's not the same. Like she liked reading the box quotes and everything.
It isn't the same.
She's
and
right.
I just
It's not
can't
the same.
believe, how are Blu-rays so expensive? This is kind of like my big takeaway here is, like, I would buy more movies if they weren't so, like, it doesn't make any
think
sense
they're
to almost
expensive?
anybody. I think they're expensive. I think they
'Cause I
come out like
buy-
they're $25.
Dude, I
I think it's too much.
bought like 7 Blu-rays last week. It was like $120 for like 7 or 8 movies. I don't think that's expensive. Like, compared
that's a
to like
lot.
the amount of money you spend on video games,
Compared
like,
to games,
movies are
yes.
super cheap.
So, and it's interesting you kind of make that comparison too, because I think in the very near future, especially as like Game Pass becomes more of a norm and streaming becomes more of a norm, people will look at games and go like, that costs too much money. Like, they absolutely, and
$70.
It's just like, it's two totally different approaches to it. But I just think, like, when, the thing is just barely hanging on, the fact that
The
Blu-ray
difference
still a
is,
thing
well,
blows
I don't
me
think
away.
I think you're wrong there. It's definitely not barely hanging on. There's still a lucrative, like, successful physical ownership of movies market. Like, movies sell well, especially new movies. That's the thing. Not old movies. Like, out of print movies, everybody's bought them, had them, or they're on streaming. But new movies,
Sure.
they still get a very big, physical run. You buy the Blu-ray, you get the digital code, you get the thing. Like, that's still a thing.
I just think, like, where do people even buy them? Like, they're, like,
Amazon, Walmart,
yeah.
I know the reason I say that, and the reason maybe I'm wrong, but the reason I think I know that is, as a horror movie fan, like, I pre-order new release horror movies and I see them, like, they sell out. Like, sometimes they're not even easy to buy, especially if they're like limited editions or like steelbooks. Yeah, they can be, like, if you don't pre-order, you may not get one.
Steelbooks are a special case for sure. And that seems like that they're giving you a little extra. Seems like that's worthwhile.
Yeah, and there's a difference between, like, obviously if you're streaming something, you don't have ownership of it, and that's the whole point. You're renting a library, and it does lose value because the library is fleeting. But physical ownership, like physically owning something, it's going to come at a premium. Especially if they give you the digital code too. So, like, that's the thing. Dev got me started on collecting, like, this digital library. So now I buy all of my physical movies and I just keep stashing digital codes. And I have this Vudu library now. It's 150 movies. It keeps
I don't
growing.
know what that is.
Vudu, like, so you
horse
got like Vudu or Google Play or Apple or whatnot, but like, you can go
Okay.
to this website, Movies Anywhere. You can tie
yeah.
all of your accounts together. So when
Yes.
you log into any service, like when I log into Xbox, all those movies that I've redeemed for the last 2 years, they're all in my Xbox account. I can just watch them.
I remember when they
whenever
brought that
want.
over. That's
Yeah.
a big deal. Yeah.
So you'd think I would get rid of my physical movies, but I don't, because I have this shelf, and I bought these pops and these lights, and it's like, I want the shelf to be full. So, like, I still keep them. But I mean, I'm an outlier here, because in the horror movie space, it's a collecting thing. I don't want to say I'm a collector, because I don't have thousands of movies. Like, it's not
you're
a
not
big thing.
completionist.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have a collection of my favorite horror movies. I'm very proud of my horror movie shelf. Like, when I was doing the air conditioning, for whatever reason, dude, my air conditioning folks loved horror movies, and they were just in awe of my shelf. And, like, they were asking me questions about all these different movies, and I was having to give them, like, little mini reviews, because they would just pull one and they'd be like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
You know, so, like,
That's awesome.
I like my horror movies, and I will always buy them physically if I can.
Yeah.
I'll pay more for them physically, actually, even over the digital copy. I'm like, nah, I need
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I definitely miss the walking into a store, picking up a bunch of movies.
You can do that
but
at Walmart.
$25 a pop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
At Walmart, they've got bins of movies.
Yeah.
Blu-rays, you get 5 for 25, 4 for 20.
Yeah, that's probably what I should do.
At least here, I don't know in Canada, but here we can go into those things
Babby wants to know if you watch the movies on easy mode.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, like, I would say, I know it's a funny joke, but actually there are some movies that I'll like, especially if it's one I've seen so far. Like, I'll just speed through the parts that I don't like.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
you know what? I
that's
don't like
funny.
this part. Let's skip to the next chapter and keep it going.
You know, I've got to get this review like sooner. So I'm
I'll
just not
watch
gonna
like
play
the abridged version of the movie.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh my god. Hey, your like graphics on the Twitch channel look great. Are they new? Has it always been like this? You
Yeah.
got like the glowy stuff. It's always like that. Looks really good, man.
Thank you.
Is that you? You did that?
I gotta see what you're talking about. Maybe I'm
Like the About Me, the Discord, the tip jar, the schedule,
Yeah, I
like
did
all
those.
the little banner things.
I
Like
did those. Those have been there for years.
it looks really nice. I don't know why I haven't noticed that before. It looks pretty good, man.
Thank you.
I like it. I'm hungry though. I haven't eaten anything all day. It's 6:30.
Yeah, go get yourself some food, man.
I'm still like digesting the stuff from yesterday. To be honest.
That's it.
with you.
Yeah, I'm
So much
stuffed.
food.
I'm stuffed.
Yeah. Okay, man. What are your plans for tonight? What are you gonna land on?
Mojito, video games.
Yeah. Nice. It's good stuff. Well, thanks for people for listening. Thanks to Ryan for putting this together for us. And I'm probably gonna put on some pants now. Been pantsless this whole time.
Good times.
Yeah. Sweet hangs.
Good night, folks.
Bye.